65% Iowa tax credits. Online at ctoiowa.org.
Until December 15th, contributions from new donors are matched. New donors double their impact with a donation to CTO, thanks to the Reichart Family Foundation.
The bottom line, it's for the kids and their future.
Hi, this is Joe Stopulus. Thank you to construction professionals for underwriting Man Up. Monday mornings at 9 on Iowa Catholic Radio. Construction Professionals, a Catholic family business built on a strong foundation. CPCustomHomes.com.
Here's your forecast on Iowa Catholic Radio. A fair weekend overall, but we do have a cold front coming in Saturday night that'll cool things off on Sunday with gusty wind. In the meantime, clear for the overnight hours and mid-30s. Breezy tomorrow, our afternoon high about 60 and sunny. Windy on Saturday night, mid-40s, sunny and windy Sunday. The weather is brought to you by Divine Treasures, a Catholic book and gift store serving the Des Moines community for over 25 years. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton on Iowa Catholic Radio.
Catholic Answers Radio Club newsletter. See what you've been missing. Go to CatholicAnswersLive.com.
We can honor the memories of our loved ones every day, not just on All Souls Day.
Let's talk about this Monday on Take Two with Jerry and Debbie on most of these EWTN stations.
We now return to Catholic Answers Live.
Bryce in Kihei, Hawaii is online, watching on YouTube Live. The question for you, Jimmy, and we weren't able to get an answer from you before we had to go to the break. Were all the men of the tribe of Levi priests?
So the history of the priesthood vis-a-vis Israel is quite interesting. We have a recognition of...
The following is a Dowling Catholic sports presentation on Iowa Catholic Radio. Our coverage of Dowling Catholic High School football is underwritten by Ashworth Vision Clinic, Construction Professionals, Dental Associates, Kemen, Mercy One, Skeffington's Formal Wear, and Bows on the Floors. Thank you for your support of Iowa Catholic Radio and Dowling Catholic football.
And good evening and welcome to Drake Stadium as we get set for round 3 of the high school football playoffs here on Iowa Catholic Radio. Tonight it's Dowling hosting the Warhawks from Waterloo West. And alongside John Chido and Matt Mandring, I'm Mark Amadale. And gentlemen, a little bit different than last week, right? Temperature, pretty good air temperature, very little wind. Matt, you and I don't notice much difference in here, do we? But it wasn't too bad.
No, not much difference up here for us tonight. Johnny's going to like it a little bit better downstairs, I think.
Yes, there's no question about that. So the wind is not nearly as bad as it was last week, so that's a big bonus.
Absolutely. Well, it's Dowling and West Waterloo, the two teams that haven't played since 1976. That was my freshman year, Matt. I remember the game over at Williams Stadium, Dowling winning 24-19. That's the last time these two teams played.
Wow.
But Coach Wilson has a tie to Waterloo West. His father-in-law, who passed away a few years ago, is from there. And,
really?
So his father-in-law used to say, "Hey, when are you going to? You're 4A now. You're coaching 4A. You're not at Dyke New Hartford anymore. When are you going to play him?" And here he is, 16 years. It's taken him Dowling to play West.
Yeah. I know, talking to the coaches earlier in the week, they just said, well, it's kind of fun to prepare for somebody that you haven't prepared for in a long time, and to be able to go to the war room and try to map things out against someone you haven't seen in a while. So it should be fun. The matchup is kind of fun as we get down to these final 16 teams and let it fly.
John, you're part of the coaching staff. You've seen a little bit of this. What do we know about Waterloo West? Who do they remind you of and the coaching staff?
Well, I think it was you, Mark, that relayed this message to me and confirmed from Coach Wilson that the Marshalltown team with Creekmer was it the quarterback back?
Oh boy! Now you're putting me on the spot. But yes, back
in
in
the Dome, the
2008.
semifinals.
in 2008.
When Dowling came away with the last minute defeat, when Marshalltown threw the ball around. Waterloo West throws the ball around quite a bit. They lead the state in passing yards and receiving yards. So you're going to see a lot of the ball through the air tonight, and the weather won't be a factor for that like it was last week, which kind of limited whatever direction we were going. Tonight you're not going to have that problem. So Waterloo West is going to attack you through the air, and then also defensively their linebackers in the middle are very strong as well. So it's going to be an interesting matchup.
Yeah, one thing I noticed, Johnny, is looking at their stats. They got 3 guys that average over 15 yards a catch, which is pretty impressive in high school football, especially with the short passing game that they have now. And it's not yards after catch. They like to throw the ball down the field. Tay Norman, 15.7 yards per catch. Nate Elwell, 18.1. And Clayton Runninghouse, 22.2 yards per catch. Those are pretty impressive numbers.
Really
and
impressive.
so they're gonna take their shots and try to spread, extend the field a little bit. So it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, I don't know if they have much of a running game, although their leading tailback is listed as a backup tonight. He's also their starting linebacker and is fourth on the team in tackles, Michael Robinson. They got several players that go both ways, and we've seen how Dowling handles that. They just wear them down by the second half. But this is a very athletic team. I don't think if we get a track meet with them, this is Drake relays, they're going to beat us on points. Yeah. So they're very athletic, but the Maroons are very sound fundamentally, and I think, John, that might be one of the keys. Who's sound, who's fundamental, and who stays out of each other's ear, because I got a feel we're going to see some exchanges, players exchange on the field, stuff that Coach Maynard used to see on the sidelines.
No question, Mark. Tempo is going to be everything. You want to control the ball game, and Dowling wants to do that with running the ball, get up tempo, but also move the ball down the field and come away with points. Limit the turnovers. And keep that offense off the field of Waterloo West and get after the quarterback. Don't give him time to stretch the field and make big plays.
And that's a part exactly, Johnny, of wearing Nate Ewell down. I mean, he's an outstanding middle linebacker. And then, he's a big kid, and he's playing in their slot on the offensive side of the ball, and he's a big target. And the more you can make that young man run on defense, and Michael Robinson both, and he's the backup tailback.
Yeah.
So both those guys are going both ways. And from that middle linebacking position, they fly to the football. They are very, very good. And so it'll be, you're right, the tempo is.
They're going to test our corners tonight.
Yeah, they are.
That's going to be interesting to watch.
You're listening to the pregame show from Drake Stadium before tonight's Class 4A football playoffs. The third round from Drake. Mark Amadale along with Matt Mandring, John Chido, Dowling, and West Waterloo, the Warhawks, come in with a record of 4-4. The Maroons with a record of 6-1, and Dowling ranks second in the last rankings. But you throw all that out because, guys, as we found out on Saturday afternoon at around noon, you know who your next 2 opponents are if you are successful. Obviously, Dowling and West Waterloo. They'll meet the winner of the game being played at Urbandale tonight. Urbandale hosting West Des Moines Valley in one of those pods. So that'll be an interesting matchup should it progress the next week, which Dowling fans hope that will. And, it's interesting how they have that all matched up.
I think of all the games tonight, that one's going to be the most interesting to see, because Valley has started to rebound a little bit. Urbandale's had the best full season, and Valley is Valley. And are they going to, is Coach Henson going to get them back up to speed in time for the postseason? And that'll be quite a battle over there on the other side of town.
It will. That's going to be interesting to see throughout the night what updates you guys get from that.
Yeah, we'll keep our listeners abreast of that. Other games in Pod A, it's Bettendorf, Pleasant Valley. The winner of that game plays Hempstead and Iowa City West winner, and that'll be next Friday. Tonight, Ankeny Centennial on the road at number 1 Southeast Polk. The winner of that game will face the winner of Cedar Rapids Prairie and Cedar Rapids Kennedy. That game being played in Kingston Stadium, and the 2 winners will meet next week. Cedar Falls comes to town, and they take on third-ranked Ankeny at Ankeny tonight, and Indianola at Waukee. So those 2 winners will meet next Friday. And, of course, the game we just talked about, Dowling and Waterloo West, the winner meets the winner of Valley and Urbandale. And that's be interesting to see where that will be played because, as we understand it, if Valley beats Urbandale, the game will be here at Drake Stadium next Friday. If Urbandale wins tonight and Dowling wins, the game will be at Urbandale next Friday.
Really?
So I'll invite you guys all over. I'll invite you over for.
It's 50-50, though. So
yeah, it's 50-50. That's according to Coach Wilson, the athletic director.
Well, then that's probably 100%.
Oh, yeah, because that's because of the alphabet, right? Because you start with the back end of the alphabet.
That's what he said.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
So we could have that. I'll invite you all for a pregame tailgate and a postgame election party with Mr. Shido because I know he's going to be needing it by next Friday.
I might need a defibrillator.
We hope that doesn't come to that. All right, well, let's take a break here on the pregame show, guys. We got beautiful weather. Temperature was in the 50s today. It's supposed to be in the mid-40s. Keep in mind, if you're out driving around, trick or treat. Beggars Night started at 6 o'clock. It lasts till 8 o'clock, so be careful out there while you're driving, especially if you're coming to Drake Stadium or one of the venues continues as most of the communities in central Iowa are having Beggars Night from now until 8 o'clock. We'll be back with more pregame coming up. Tom Wilson, the head coach of Dowling Catholic, will visit about tonight's opponent, the Waterloo West Warhawks, here on Iowa Catholic Radio.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio and Dowling Catholic Sports is provided in part by Ashworth Vision Clinic. With 2 licensed optometrists, Barbara Sheets, a Dowling graduate, and Dr. Craig Harper, the Ashworth Vision Clinic team provides complete eye exams, contact lenses, glasses, glaucoma testing, and pre- and post-operative care. Ashworth Vision Clinic is located at 60th and Ashworth in West Des Moines. 515-440-4610 or online, ashworthvision.com.
Thank you, construction professionals, for underwriting our show, Man Up, heard Mondays at 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. Construction professionals have been long supporters of Iowa Catholic Radio, and we've seen their work. It's beautiful.
They do remodeling or new construction that is innovative, functional, and designing what you want. It's a family business built on a strong foundation to create a new or remodeled home that is uniquely yours.
cpcustomhomes.com. From our family to yours, God bless. Thank you, construction professionals.
Welcome back to the pregame show here on Iowa Catholic Radio. Mark Amadil now joined by head coach Tom Wilson as it's Dowling taking on West Waterloo here at Drake Stadium in the third round of the high school football playoffs. Coach, thanks for joining us and best luck tonight.
All right, thank you, Mark.
Well, Coach, much warmer night here at Drake Stadium compared to last week. I know you guys are all scrambling for your outer gear, your hunting gear and stuff, but nonetheless, a Dowling victory after being off for 15 days. Talk about your performances. I look at the score chart. 9 players scored. I haven't seen that in too many years with a 65-11 win over Sioux City North last Friday night. But 9 players scored, and you got a lot of kids in that second half after you rested your starters.
Oh, we did, and I was glad that we were able to take care of business. I felt, that we certainly did some good things. North had, some athletes. We talked about the wide receiver and the quarterback had done a pretty good job with them throughout the course of the year, and but we kind of got things rolling, and as you mentioned, a lot of different kids scored, which was great to see. And once things really started going bad for North, they started putting the ball on the ground, and there were several turnovers, and that's really how the score got to be where it was at.
And a lot of kids involved with forcing those turnovers, and one of the best one was the start off the game 2-0 on a safety. That was due to a tremendous punt by Jake Dalbert, who we don't talk enough about throughout the year as a punter, but he pinned him back, and then they tried to throw the double pass and ended up being a safety for Dowling.
It did, and we get credit for that. I'm not sure we did anything to earn it, but it was a double pass, and Klein was in coverage there. I think that was the biggest thing we were looking for. He had recognized it too, so I felt pretty good, even though if they did get that first pass to their guy, that Klein was in position for the second one.
Coach, you led 37-3 at halftime, and I know your starters played one possession in the third quarter, and that was Louis Brooks's 72-yard touchdown. And after that, you got to play a lot of kids, and that's always good. But talk about what you told the team at halftime and obviously build momentum from there.
Really, and truthfully, it was tough to communicate with our kids at halftime. I mean, the locker room situation at Drake with the COVID world that we're living in wasn't really conducive to a lot. And so it was kind of bits and pieces and basically just taking care of our jobs, and we were trying to get the other kids ready to play. And it was nice that we got off to the fast start, and really there was a different play call on, but our quarterbacks always have the leverage that if they see green grass with our receivers, they can throw it out there to them, and that's what they did, and Louis takes it the distance. So that was good, and then I thought our other kids came in, did a nice job, and really did some good things, especially on the offensive side. Defensively, we gave up the score, which we didn't want to, but there's no substitute for a lot of those experiences.
Well, how about the pick six from one of your backups, Ben Hugrich? He'll remember that, the young junior. And a lot of these kids were juniors that got to play and scored for you out of the 9 kids that did score, but Hugrich on the 50-yard interception.
Guys like Hugrich and Sanders got a touchdown too. They do a lot of things well. Tremendous kids, and they just continue to make progress and make us better now, and hopefully they'll make us better in the future.
Well, Coach, following the game, the next day, you beat Sioux City North 65-11 at Drake Stadium on Saturday at noon. Parents came out, and all of a sudden you're assigned West Waterloo, which is tonight's opponent. What'd you think about that? And you also know you're the opponent. If whoever wins this game will play the Valley Urbandale winner the following week. So you already know who your next opponent is. Possibly both teams do. Your thoughts about getting Waterloo West sent down here?
Well, it really wasn't what I was expecting. We had a lot of different scenarios, and as true to form, that wasn't one of them. And no, it's kind of ironic. I mean, I spent a lot of time up in that area of the state, and my late father-in-law and my football coach and really a mentor, he always bragged about playing at Waterloo West, and here, lo and behold, get a chance to coach against him. So I think that was pretty neat. But obviously, different scenario for us in the playoffs this year. And first off is Waterloo West, and we got to play a great game against them and see who the winner of Valley Urbandale is. And should we take care of business, then we know who our opponent is.
Visit with head coach Tom Wilson before tonight's Class 4A football playoff game, the third round. It's Dowling hosting West Waterloo here at Drake Stadium. I'm Mark Amadale. I'll be back with more. We'll talk with Coach Wilson more about tonight's opponent, the Waterloo West Warhawks, here on Iowa Catholic Radio.
Oh my Jesus, forgive us our sins.
Iowa Catholic Radio, connecting listeners to Christ.
Because of you, I know God better. Nothing that we will ever do in our lives is more important than helping somebody know God better.
Would you consider a $30 a month donation? Your support keeps Iowa Catholic Radio on the air, connecting people with Christ.
You can give at iowacatholicradio.com, through the Iowa Catholic Radio app, or call 515-223-1150.
Thank you for your support of Iowa Catholic Radio.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio's broadcast of Dowling Catholic sports and activities is provided by Kemin, a global ingredient manufacturer using science to transform the quality of life for 80% of the world. Kemin is on the leading edge of molecular science, manufacturing more than 500 specialty ingredients for the human and animal health and nutrition, pet food, aquaculture, nutraceutical, food technologies, crop technologies, and textile industries. Kemin strives to sustainably transform the quality of life every day for 80% of the world with their products and services. Kemin, using science to transform the world. Online at kemin.com.
Welcome back to the pregame show here on Iowa Catholic Radio. Mark Amadale from Drake Stadium, visiting now with head coach Tom Wilson, talking about tonight's opponent in the third round of the high school football playoffs. That is the Waterloo West Warhawks as they take on Dowling here at Drake. And Coach kind of touched on that, but you're taking on a Waterloo West team that comes in with a record of 4-4. Lonnie Moore is their 11-year head coach. And this is a team that beat Fort Dodge. Kind of a controversial ending. Sounds like it was an exciting game up in Waterloo when those two teams battled. But nonetheless, they're here. They broke a 3-game losing streak to get the opportunity to play Dowling. And your thoughts? You got a chance to dig out some tape on West Waterloo. You know, we haven't played them since 1976 in the playoffs, and the Maroons won 24-19. That was in the quarterfinals. Dowling went on to beat Heelan in the semis and lost to Davenport Central in the finals. So that's how long it's been since we played West. And you got relatives in that area, and you've always wanted to play them, and here you go. Talk about them.
Good football team. I know they struggled towards the end, but they got the number one passing offense in the state. They've got the number one quarterback in terms of passing, number one receiver. They do a good job within their scheme. I would expect them to put it in the air probably north of 40 times during the ball game. And big thing for us is, you know, we have to make sure we get them in passing situations. And they have a very capable back, big running back, plays both ways, linebacker, running back, and he'll be a handful. But we got to do a great job at the line of scrimmage and try to get after that quarterback and cover their guys up. But the nice thing is we've seen good players and good quarterbacks and good receivers and things like that. And I do think Waterloo West, those skill players are legit. And it's going to be a good challenge for us, and a little bit different style of play than what we're used to seeing. So I really think that will be a challenge for our defensive side.
And Coach, the Warhawks, I mentioned, coming in with a record of 4-4. Who does Waterloo West remind you of, similar maybe around here in central Iowa, either a team you played or you haven't played this year?
Well, this will bring back bad memories, but it's the 2009 Marshalltown team that they throw the ball around like that, have a good quarterback, have good receivers, good skill people. That's the style of offense you're really looking at when you play Waterloo West. So, it's not anything that the type of football that we haven't seen before. We've seen that, but they'll probably put it in the air a little bit more than what we're used to.
We mentioned offensively what West will like to do, throw it around, but defensively they've only forced 11 turnovers this year, so they don't really get after it. Some of these kids are on both sides of the ball, as you know. We face that against Sioux City North, but your thoughts on the Dowling offense attacking the Warhawks defense?
Yeah, 4-3 defense, mostly staying a two-high shell, not a heavy blitz team at all or movement up fronts. They get themselves lined up and let their kids play. And, their middle linebacker, Ewell, who plays kind of a slot receiver, number 40, he's a good player. Bigger linebacker, I think he probably goes 225, 230, moves around pretty well. You'll see Michael Robinson, 41, also. He's also their running back that I mentioned, but he's their will linebacker. So those two guys, I think, are pretty good and should be getting some really college attention, to be honest with you, based on what I've seen. And I certainly, their secondary has guys that can run. I think they're very athletic back there with good speed. So it'd be interesting to see, how our offensive line performs. I think we have an advantage there. We just have to play like it and try to get our playmakers the ball.
Well, Coach, I know in postseason you're always searching for a home. It's been Williams Stadium the last several years, but due to the COVID, not playing there. But the folks at Drake Stadium have been very hospitable. You get to play here tonight and maybe next week also. It depends on what happens tonight, but we want to thank the folks at Drake.
Absolutely. It's worked out very well, and we certainly appreciate their hospitality. I didn't like the north wind last week, but at least we were playing football. So, greatly appreciate what they've done, and hopefully we can just continue to play a game or two here.
Coach Wilson, thanks for joining us. Best of luck tonight against West Waterloo, and we'll talk to you during the game and on the postgame show.
All right, thank you.
Coach Tom Wilson, my guest here on the pregame show. It's Dowling and Waterloo West from Drake Stadium tonight. Kickoff is 7 o'clock. This is Mark Hamadale. I'll be back with more as Matt Mainring and John Scheidel rejoin the broadcast here on Iowa Catholic Radio.
Thank you, Dental Associates, for underwriting Dowling Catholic Sports 365. With over 40 years' experience, Dental Associates is a group dental practice with the mission of promoting optimum health and well-being to all patients, providing preventative, restorative, and cosmetic dentistry for the entire family. Message underwritten by Dr. Kenton Gleichman, Dr. Steve Karbaka, Dr. Christine Mulcahy, and Dr. Ben Nagel. Dental Associates, addressing your smile, needs, and dreams. Online at DesMoines-DentalAssociates.com.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio's broadcast of Dowling Catholic sports and activities is provided by Kemin, a global ingredient manufacturer using science to transform the quality of life for 80% of the world. Kemin is on the leading edge of molecular science, manufacturing more than 500 specialty ingredients for the human and animal health and nutrition, pet food, aquaculture, nutraceutical, food technologies, crop technologies, and textile industries. Kemin strives to sustainably transform the quality of life every day for 80% of the world with their products and services. Kemin, using science to transform the world. Online at kemin.com.
Iowa Catholic Radio, KWKY Des Moines, K233BT Des Moines, KIHSAA Del. Listen online anytime at iowacatholicradio.com or download the Iowa Catholic Radio app.
And welcome back to Drake Stadium here in Des Moines. Mark Hamadale alongside Matt Mainring as we get set for high school playoff football. It is Dowling taking on Waterloo West here at Drake Stadium. Other games going on in the area tonight as winners advance to next week. And the winner of this game will face the winner of the Urbandale and Valley game. That game going on over at Urbandale High School. So that's one pod. That's Pod D, as they call it in Class 4A. Cedar Falls takes on Ankeny. That game being played in Ankeny. The winner of that game will play the winner of Indianola and Waukee next week. Ankeny Centennial winner versus Southeast Polk tonight in Pleasant Hill. That winner will take on the winner of Cedar Rapids Prairie and Cedar Rapids Kennedy next week. And Bettendorf and Pleasant Valley, the winner of that game will take on the Dubuque Hempstead Iowa City West winner. So there we go, Matt. As teams are on the field, I think we're going to have the mock coin toss here because it's already been determined. I didn't know if you knew that or not. They always determine that. But let's go down the field before we go our starting lineups. And John Chido, give us a bit of how does it feel down there? A little bit warmer this week? What do you think?
Well, yes, because there's zero wind. The flags are not even moving. It's really, really nice night. And it's a heck of a lot different than last week. So both teams are going to be able to do things offensively tonight that they weren't able to do last week.
We're a little bit closer to the fans, John. We're a little bit closer to you. Some of them are waving at us. I don't know why. Part of the Monroe clan right here, Mr. Maindring, and they are good people, and we appreciate them. Let's take a look at the starting lineups before we go to break. For Dowling, the starting lineup will be Sam Gavin at left tackle. Dominic Varelli will start at left guard, and Dominic's battling a shoulder injury. We might see Josh Stanfill in there, number 62, at times tonight. Jake Olson's the Dowling center. Gabe Carey, the right guard, and Finn Claypool, the right tackle for the Maroons. Andrew Lynch is the tight end. Wide receivers, Louis Brooks and Koa Thompson, along with Mac Anderson and Carson Brown. Starting running back will be Zach Swager. Cam Middleton backs him up. And the quarterbacks, they'll be shared tonight, Jake Steingraber and Jackson Smolik. Steingraber, the senior, and Smolik, the sophomore. We'll take a break and come back with the start of tonight's game. We'll introduce the defense when we return. But first, a word from Dr. Dan Ryan, our halftime guest before tonight's game. We'll talk to him. We'll get a word from him and Father Ryan Andrew here on Iowa Catholic Radio.
Hi, this is Dr. Dan Ryan, president of Dowling Catholic High School. Welcome to another season of exciting Dowling High School football. We are proud to be partners with Iowa Catholic Radio, not only broadcasting football, but also being partners in preparing Christ-centered leaders for life. Go Maroons.
Hello, my name is Father Ryan Andrew, and I'm the chaplain at Dowling Catholic High School. Let us pray for the coaches, players, and trainers tonight for this athletic competition. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, amen. Heavenly Father, we thank you for all your gifts. We ask you to bless all those involved in this athletic competition tonight. We ask that you keep them safe and that they all show good sportsmanship. We ask this through Christ our Lord. Amen. All holy men and women, pray for us. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Welcome back to Drake Stadium here in downtown Des Moines. Alongside Matt Maindring, I'm Mark Amadale. We're playing the Dowling Fact song in the background. Just got done with the national anthem here. And let's review the Dowling defense tonight. Let's introduce their starters. Up front, Russell Pearson, number 67, a senior, along with Jalen Pettis, number 55, a junior. Chase Patton, also a junior, number 54, is a starter for the Maroons. And Michael One, number 51, a senior. Those are the four up front. Linebackers, Will Herman, Max Deary, Jack Meyer, and Carson Kriegshauser. Cornerbacks are Jake Anderson and Austin Klein. And the free safety for Dowling is Blake Anderson. Starting punter will be Jake Calvert, and Diego Leon will handle all the kicking responsibilities. As we have about 4 minutes on the pregame clock here, Matt, but we're way ahead of schedule, which is fine. We may kick off early. You just never know. But,
you wonder if they do that on a playoff night with other things going on.
Mm-hmm.
On a normal night, I would say, yeah, they'd probably kick this thing off a little early.
Starters for Waterloo West. Their head coach is Lonnie Moore in his 11th year. Good friends of Coach Meeks on the Dowling coaching staff. He was the Columbus Catholic head coach for many years, and those two know each other. The quarterback is Carter Schulte, one of the few that doesn't go two ways. He's number 2, a 6'1", 175-pound senior. He's thrown for 14 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, and has rushed for 3 touchdowns. The starting running back tonight is Jay Shaw, but he's not the leading rusher. It's Michael Robinson is a backup, has almost 500 yards and 3 touchdowns. But Robinson, we mentioned, one of those outstanding linebackers for Waterloo West. Wide receivers, there's 4 of them. Tay Norman, Jeremiah Finn, Gunnar Burton, and Nate Ewell. And Ewell you'll hear on both sides of the ball. And also in there, Orlando Vivians. And up front, Christian Chapman's the left tackle, number 62. Levi Russell, number 76, the left guard. Adam Lemley is the center, number 54. Adian Lemley. Evan Shaver's the right guard, and Adam Tier is the starting right tackle, and he is a two-way player. So, Matt, that's kind of the tale of tape for both teams, as we're going to see. Yeah, they just they just said, hey, we're going to start.
We're going to start early.
So I hope everybody's tuned in. Now, Folks, if you're trying to watch the game, CISN.TV is not broadcasting the game. It's broadcast on a national level. The National Federation High School Network is broadcasting the game. They're upstairs. We got kicked out of the presidential suite because of them. And it's a pay-per-view. It's $10 to watch tonight on with their broadcast and their crew. So it is not on CISN, although they are covering other games in the area. And you can tune in to CISN.TV. So just a heads up there. It's radio only from us tonight.
So that means we have TV timeouts and everything else, or I don't know how that works.
We're going to find out.
We're going to find out.
We always call them the COVID timeouts.
Yeah, that's right. COVID timeouts.
All right, let's get
it should be a fun night out here. Beautiful night, no wind, and we're ready for kickoff.
All right, 47 degrees, clear skies as we approach kickoff. It's 6:58. The winds out of the east-southeast at 7 miles per hour, so a crosswind blowing towards us, Matt, and the bowl here at Drake Stadium is well enclosed, except for the north end zone, which we kind of found out last week. And Leon kicks it off. High end-over-end kick will be fielded by Waterloo West at the 10-yard line. And on the return, going upfield and trying to cut upfield to the 20 and brought down right there is their return man. And it'll be good, not bad starting position for the Warhawks. 1st and 10 on the return by Michael Robinson.
And Michael Robinson, he's a big kid at 5'11", 210, and he's built low to the ground, and he's a good running back and a better linebacker. So this will be interesting to see tonight as they try to stretch the field on Dowling and take their shots down the field and try to make things happen. Rushing isn't their thing. It's going to be out there. And it's interesting, you said something about Michael Robinson, but he is starting at tailback.
Yes, he is. They interchange their tailbacks, and he gets the handoff right side. He's got a hole right up the gut. He's got the first down at the 30-yard line. They hand it off right to him. Michael Robinson, the 5'11", 210-pound senior. That put him over 500 yards for the year with 3 touchdowns. And they listed Jay Shaw as a starting tailback, but they put Robinson back there.
One of the things about Robinson, he doesn't have that breakaway speed. His longest run of the season is only 19 yards, but he is a load in between the hashes.
So 1st and 10, West from their own 30-yard line on that 10-yard gain by Robinson. And let's see if we see the game clock or the play clock go down. And now the quarterback will go back to throw, rolls to his left, fires the ball downfield. Intercepted. Picked off the 40-yard line by Dowling Catholic, and that's Carson Kriegshauser with the interception on the first pass of the game. And Carson, how about that? He timed that well.
He did, and used his height. Kriegshauser's about a 6'2" kid, a 6'3" kid, and he jumped up there, and it looked like Schulte never saw him because he was in an underneath position from that linebacker, the outside linebacker position, and snuck in there and picked it off, and Dowlings are in business.
1st and 10, Dowling from the 39-yard line of Waterloo West, and the quarterback is Steingraber, and he goes back to throw, fires it out, and it's caught, and that's Lynch on the far sideline, and he's got the first down. They run out of bounds inside the 30 of Waterloo West. They'll spot him down at the 27, a gain of 12.
Andrew Lynch, someone who was out early in the game last week, and we're not sure, it was cramps, whatever else, but did not get a lot of snaps last week. And he's a big part of this offense. He makes this offense more of a threat.
And not one catch. You called that early in the game. We didn't see Andrew the rest of the game, but we saw him tonight in the first play. 1st and 10, Dowling, and Steingraber, Jake Steingraber, the senior quarterback, puts a man in motion. That's Louis Brooks. Back to throw Steingraber on play action. Will keep the football. Kind of a little bit of a move and went right over to the right tackle and guard, and he gets down inside the 25, around the 24-yard line for a gain of about 3.
It's fun to watch that offensive line. I see Gabe Carey from his right guard position continue and finish a block out here on the near hash. Way after the play, and that's how it's done up front.
So it'll be 2nd down and 3 for the Maroons. Jake Steingraber has in the backfield. The tailback is Zach Swager. 3 receivers left. The tight end Lynch is on the right side of the formation. Dowling going right to left towards the north end zone here as we have a crosswind. The handoff to Swager. Zach bowls his way to about the 20-yard line. He'll pick up 4 and bring up 3rd down for the Maroons. 3rd and about 3.
Zach picking his way through the middle right there as that offensive line got a good push in there, and the outside linebacker position there at number 5, Dupree Banks comes up and makes the stop there for Waterloo West.
So the Maroons now with 3rd and 4 from the West 21-yard line. Steingraber back to throw, fires the ball out, and the pass is incomplete. Receiver on that far sideline had a kneel down, and that was Lynch, and he couldn't bring it in, so it'll bring up 4th down for Dowling. 4th and 4, they'll call it, from the 21-yard line of West, and Dowling, like they're going to go for it.
He ran that curl route right to the sticks, and the ball came in a little low, and he tried to cup it in, and couldn't get a handle on it, so it makes it 4th down here for the Maroons on their first drive.
Well, 5 receivers for Dowling, empty backfield, 3 on the right, 2 on the left. Here's a snap. Steingraber sets up in the pocket, fires over the middle. The pass is tipped in, incomplete. They tried to get Louis Brooks on a quick slant, and it was deflected and incomplete. And Waterloo West will take over on downs as Dowling with an incompletion, and the Warhawks will take over 1st and 10 from their own 21.
Ran that play to the 3 receiver side. Louis comes underneath the other 2 and cuts in there, and he's going to draw attention wherever he is. Louis is, and they were able to get a hand on the ball, and Louis almost got back to the deflection, but it dropped to the ground, and now Dowling returns to defense.
Well, John Chido, you're down the sideline and got the interception by Kriegshauser, but the Maroons couldn't capitalize.
Yeah, and we talked about it in pregame. Interception, great field position. You have to capitalize and put points on the board, Mark. No doubt about it.
Yeah, now 1st down from the 21. A running play and out of the backfield, and getting up slowly is the tailback for Waterloo West, Jay Shaw, who's listed the starting tailback. Now he comes in on this series, and he's hit and dropped. A yard loss back to the 20-yard line. 2nd down, 11 coming up. Nice job by the Dowling defense, Matt.
Yeah, Derry, Meyer, and Kriegshauser again. That Derry and Meyer inside there make it a tough go there for Norman or for Shaw.
Back to throw is the quarterback Carter Schulte, airs the ball downfield, incomplete. Close receiver was Jeremiah Finn, but well covered by the Dowling defense. It'll bring up 3rd and long for the Warhawks.
It'll be interesting to see as we go through the night how much pressure Coach Bossum's going to bring. Is he going to bring extra guys, and can that front 4 create enough pressure on its own without bringing extra bodies to defend the outstanding receivers that the Warhawks have?
And at what times does Coach Bossum bring the pressure? He
Right.
doesn't bring it all the time. Brings, they rush 4, maybe 5 at times. They're rushing 5 right now is Dowling. 3rd and 11 for Waterloo West. And now Schulte back to throw it. Fires it out. Caught by Tay Norman, one of his leading receivers, but for a short gain up to about the 26, and I'll bring up 4th down.
Austin Klein comes up and lets him catch the ball in front of him on 3rd down. Great corner play there by Austin as he comes up and makes the hit on Tay and Norman to get the stop. I'm going to have something with that Tay Norman, that Tay name. That makes me think of Devontae Adams. I get that Packer thing in my brain. So.
Oh, and Marcoulier's listening. You
Yeah,
guys are
good.
both Packer fans.
Yeah.
We'll keep you in our prayers throughout the season. All right, back to punt is Jackson Hoppes. He'll stand back at his 12-yard line. Good snap and the right-footed kick. Nearly blocked. Now they're going to say it was partially blocked, and there was contact with the punter. Ball takes a Dowling bounce. They're going to let it roll out of bounds right around the 38-yard line. That's where Dowling will take over 1st and 10 from their own 38. No score. Dowling and Waterloo West with 8:49 remaining here in the first quarter at Drake Stadium. Mark Amadale alongside Matt Maindring. And down on the Dowling sideline is John Chido. And, John, you brought this up earlier. When does Dowling's offense start to go tempo? What part of the game will you think Coach Wilson will pull that out?
I think late in this quarter, this drive, that first quarter, you're doing different things that you saw during the week and trying things out. Now that you had seen how they're going to line up on different sets, then you're really going to see Dowling getting a flow.
All right, pistol formation. The pass is they fake the handoff, and to Cam Middleton, fires it out, caught by Louis Brooks, and he gets the 1st down. Did a nice little comeback pattern to the right side and got about 10 extra yards up to the 49-yard line, and that'll be 1st down Dowling.
One thing with that full house, what I would call,
full house
backfield, whatever, you're making them keep their defensive linebackers in, so they give it more of a 4-3 look, which frees up the receiver, especially the slot receivers where they had Louis that last play.
1st and 10 Dowling. Line of scrimmage their own 49. They'll put Louis Brooks in motion right to left. Steingraber at quarterback, and the give is to Cam Middleton, right side. He's got some room down the far sideline. He goes 30 inside the 20 and finally run out of bounds near the 15-yard line. 1st and 10 Maroons. They sent everybody to the left with the motion to Louis Brooks, and that left that weak side vulnerable, and that was down the far sideline in front of the West bench.
One thing watching the previous games for Waterloo, Ewell and Robinson are such good linebackers, but they really go after that fullback in that dive, and they're really going to make go at it, which gives that back cut on that stretch play to the backside wide open, and that's where Cam went right down the sideline.
39-yard run for Middleton. First down, Dowling. Middleton with the handoff left side, and he just plods his way through all the way down near the 10. They're going to spot at the 11, a gain of 4 to bring up second down and 6 from the Waterloo West 11-yard line.
Gabe Carey pulled on that play and was able to get out in front of Cam and create some space there and get a couple extra yards and puts him in business.
Middleton stays in at tailback. Here is Steingraber on play action, gives it to Middleton right up the gut, follows the center, and near a first down. He has to get on the other side of the 5. They're going to spot his knee down at the 6, so it'll bring up 3rd and short for the Maroons.
And Cam is a little slow to get up. The one thing about Robinson and Ewell is they are hitters, and they will come up and they will finish plays. And unfortunately, Cam is on the turf here now, and
that is not a good sign, as the trainers are now out there, and we've got a timeout on the field. We're going to take one ourselves. 7:26 remaining.
He's going to get up pretty quick here, though, it looks like.
And I've got a feeling if I send it to break, he is getting up.
Yeah, he is getting up.
Yeah, he might have
just had the wind knocked out of him because he got hit right in the midsection. So.
Yeah, he is not limping, so that is good. I think you're right, Coach. John Chido, what do you think? Wind knocked out of Cam?
Yeah, he was holding his stomach, and he might have fell on the football as well as when he went down, and that will take the wind out of your sails.
All right, it'll be Dowling football. It'll bring up 3rd and about 1 for the Maroons. As here's a snap, and they give it to Swagger right side. He's got the first down, and he's down near the 2-yard line. Almost got in. They're going to spot him down at the 1, actually. So Zach Swagger carries it for 5, and it'll be 1st and goal Dowling from the west.
You're going to see a little tempo here. Dowling's going to get right back up and try to finish this drive right on this play.
All right, Steingraber stays in the shotgun formation. Zach with the snap, handoff Swagger, and he's hit and dropped back at the 3-yard line. Nice job by, guess who?
Yeah.
They're Michael Robinson making the stop.
Shot through there untouched and was able to make the play there on Swagger. Swagger didn't have a chance out of the backfield. The Waterloo or West Waterloo is having a tough time as Dowling continues to pull their line and create that extra blocker in space there and get that linebacker, pick up those linebackers, and that's where they've been having their success right now.
All right, Middleton in there, 2nd and goal from the 2. Cam at tailback. They'll send a man in motion, handoff Cam, and we got the penalty flag down. This will be our first flag of the night from our crew. And let's see if we can pick up procedure against Dowling Catholic. And it'll be a 5-yard penalty against Dowling. I'll move him back to the 7-yard line. Our officials tonight, Mike Hansen from Newton is our referee. Head linesman is Ronnie Weedman from Grimes. Line judge is Tony Nelson from Waukee. Todd Waddell is the umpire from Ankeny, and the back judge is Craig DeDecker from Cumming. So the Dowling's penalized 5. They'll be back to the 7-yard line. That is the first penalty of the game, and this will bring up 2nd and goal from the 8. 3 receivers left, 1 to the right for the Maroons. And Steingraber at quarterback. Jake, long count. Read option. The give is the Zwagger, and Zach, a penalty flag down, gets all the way down near the 3, but a flag down at the point of attack. Maybe this is a face mask. We'll see.
Yeah, hard to tell because it's away from us, away from the press box here, so we'll see.
Holding Dowling. So that'll be a 10-yard spot foul. And let's see where they spot it from. They're going to say right around the 5, so that'll be back to the 15-yard line. John Chido will bring you back in here. The Maroons are starting to shoot themselves in the foot with a couple of penalties here, back-to-back penalties, a hold and a procedure call.
Yeah, you hate to see that, especially in the red zone there when you have an opportunity to put 7 on the board. And they're really exposing that weak side of Waterloo West defense. And Dowling has the numbers and are successful, but the penalties keep pushing them back.
Certainly do. Thank you for that report, John. The ball back to the 13-yard line. So the holding call by Dowling. Here is Steingraber looking in the end zone. Back to throw. Lobs it up in the air looking for Louis Brooks. And it is caught. And he's stay in bounds. Touchdown, Louis Brooks. He out-leaped. And I thought he jumped too soon, Matt. But he stayed up there.
He did.
He out-leaped the defender, Tyree Gardner. Touchdown Maroons. And Dowling now leading 6-0.
That was an outstanding play that was all Louis Brooks. Steingraber puts it up there and just in space and created a jump ball, and Louis wins.
13-yard touchdown pass, Jake Steingraber to Louis Brooks. Now the extra point by Diego Leon, as Dowling now strikes first, leading 6-0 here at Drake Stadium, the third round of the high school playoffs. And Leon's extra point is up and good. The hold by Steingraber. So it's Dowling striking first. They lead it 7-0 with 5:46 remaining here in the first quarter from Drake Stadium. And you're listening to Iowa Catholic Radio's coverage of Dowling Catholic football here on Iowa Catholic Radio.
Thank you to Mercy One for their support of Iowa Catholic Radio. From the cardiovascular experts at the Iowa Heart Center to the pediatric services of Mercy Children's Hospital and Clinics, Mercy provides complete care for Central Iowa's adults and children with more than 50 primary care and specialty clinics in the Des Moines area. Find a convenient Mercy One location near you. Online at mercydesmoines.org.
Did you know you have a choice in your child's education? Smaller class sizes, dedicated teachers, a sense of community, and a caring learning environment, whether it's in the classroom or at home. Diocese of Des Moines Catholic Schools deliver the best value in education, and we offer tuition assistance to help you afford it. Learn more about how the Catholic schools in the Des Moines Diocese might be the right choice for your child. Visit dmdiocese.org/schools.
And we're back here at Drake Stadium. The kickoff by Diego Leon, fielded by Waterloo West right about the 18-yard line, and he'll just kneel down and cover it up, so that's where West will start, 1st and 10 from their own 16-yard line. Let's go down to Sean Chido, and John, what a nice bounce back. Middleton was shaken up during that drive, but Dowling striking after, and it was Louis Brooks, and I thought he mistimed his jump. He made us look like fools because he didn't. A nice job by Louis.
Yeah, he high pointed that football and went up and made a great play because that ball was up for grabs and that was all Louis high pointing that football. But I just want to mention Cam, and he's off to a good start, and hopefully he stays healthy and keeps running the way he is.
Yeah, 7 plays, 59 yards on the Dowling drive, marred by 2 penalties, and now first down Waterloo West as they take over on their own 18-yard line, and they give it to their tailback, and he scampers around left end, crosses the 20 up near the 24-yard line from his own 18. Pretty good run that time.
It was a pretty good run, and it looked like either, I couldn't tell if it was Will Herman or Austin Klein, and they were trying to tackle Robinson up high, and that's not a good decision. And you're going to end up on your back right there, and that's what happened as he finished the run.
The ball's on the 24-yard line, and now Waterloo West gets their second set of signals from their head coach Lonnie Moore and their coaching staff. It's 2nd and 4 West from their own 24-yard line. Now back to throw. Schulte fires over the middle, caught by Finn. He's got the first down. Little slant pattern over the middle from the right side. West going north to south here at Drake Stadium, and he's got a first down at the 45-yard line, a 16-yard gain.
Finn got into that void behind the linebackers in front of the safety, and Schulte put it right on him, and a very good play there for the Warhawks. 1st and
10, Waterloo West. Now Dowling jumping off sides. They penetrate the neutral zone, one of the defensive tackles for Dowling, and that'll give a 1st and 5 now to Waterloo West as the ball now will be moved to midfield on the 5-yard penalty. Tonight's game on Iowa Catholic Radio brought to you in part by Kemen, Mercy One, and Skeffington's Formal Wear. Alongside Matt Maindring, I'm Mark Amadale. John Chido on the Dowling sideline tonight here on Iowa Catholic Radio as 46 degrees, temperature falling, but the wind not a factor like it was last week. East-southeast, 7 miles per hour. Hand off to the tailback, and he's swallowed up at the point of attack and struggles to get back to the line of scrimmage. No gain, just a matter of which tailback was in there because they've been interchanging the two that they have, and no gain. That's the big guy, Michael Robinson, who also is their starting linebacker who ran the ball.
Ran into Jalen Pettis inside, and then Jason Derry was able to come in there and finish business for the Maroons. And I think, Waterloo West going to have a tough time running in between those tackles, and that's where Robinson gets most of his yardage, and it's going to be a tough go in there.
Well, they have Finn and Burton at the bottom of the to the right of the lineup, of the line of scrimmage rather, and they give it right up the gut to Robinson again, and he's got the first down. He gets across midfield and down to the Dowling 44-yard line. He'll pick up a nice yardage there.
They were able to block down and kick it out so they can get it just off tackle on that play, and Robinson exploded through there. And again, he's not gonna run down the field a long ways, but he's a powerful runner, and he got the 7 yards there, and keeps the sticks moving for the Warhawks.
6-yard gain, and it's a 1st and 10, Waterloo West. Now a lateral pass that's incomplete as Carter Schulte, the quarterback, threw it to the left of the formation. It was dropped by the receiver, and he was just in front of the angle of the pass, and that was Jeremiah Finn who dropped it incomplete.
Jeremiah was looking where he was running before he caught the ball. There was a lot of traffic in there, and he had his hands on it. It was a clean catch for a second, and then the ball gets on the ground and slows them up.
Stops the clock. 3.5 minutes remaining here in the first quarter. It's Dowling 7, Waterloo West nothing. Beautiful night here at Drake Stadium. Temperature in the lower 40s, light winds. And now the give is to Robinson again. He's got some room. Tries to get outside the numbers. He's hit and knifed down right at the 40-yard line. Nice individual tackle that time by the Maroons. And Robinson showed his speed as he tried to get outside.
He did, and Blake Anderson came out there like a shot out of a cannon from his safety position and flew into the alley there and was able to take Robinson down. A great open field tackle, because if Anderson doesn't get him, he's probably still running.
He might be, and he's waiting for everybody else to catch him. So
yeah.
Gain of 4 down to the Dowling 40. It's 3rd and 6 West. Out of the shotgun. Schulte, the handoff right up the gut, and a penalty flag down. Robinson goes down. He picks up the first down at the 34 of Dowling, but this may be coming back depending on what the penalty is.
The flag was thrown right at the feet of Max Derry. I think Max Derry might have got tackled, and Max Derry is playing defense for the Maroons. And so I think that...
You are correct, Mr. Maindring, as you always are. The leading tackler for Dowling, Max Derry, the linebacker for Dowling, leads the Maroons in tackles with 38.5 tackles coming into the contest. He's recovered 2 fumbles and has 5 sacks, leads the team there. But Derry, Herman, the second leading tackler, Kriegshauser, who's got an interception tonight, the third leading tackler, and Jack Meyer, the fourth leading tackler, all linebackers. So moves the ball back to the 46-yard line. And it'll bring up 3rd and 12 now for Waterloo West. Carter Schulte, the quarterback, back to throw, straight back, fires the ball downfield, and the pass is caught right in front of him again. It's complete to Tay Norman, but he's shy of the first down. It'll be brought down right at the 38-yard line of Dowling. So a gain of 8, but it'll bring up 4th down.
Dowling was bringing 5, they had 5 defensive linemen down on that play, and they're getting pressure and getting close. And Austin Klein is doing a great job out there, keeping the Tay in front of him. And no yards after catch. Austin brings him down, creates 4th down situation here.
All right. West Waterloo going for it. Head coach Lonnie Moore keeps his offense out there. The bottom to the right is Gunnar Burton, number 13, 2 receivers to the right. Back in the backfield. Schulte back to throw. Throws it a lateral pass. Caught by Norman, and he's knocked out of bounds near a first down. He's right at the 33, and they're going to give it to him.
They're going to give it to him. We were talking earlier about when Coach Bosman was going to bring some pressure, and he did right there. And Schulte makes a great pass out here, and they complete the first down and keep the chains moving again.
Gain of 5 on the play. 1st and 10, West Waterloo on the Dowling 33. Maroons lead at 7-0. 1:45 remaining here in the first quarter from Drake Stadium. Schulte now calling signals to give us the tailback. That's Michael Robinson, who's been in on this series, and he carries it for a yard down to the 32-yard line of Dowling.
Kriegshauser got it on to Robinson's feet there, and the rest of the team comes in and finishes him off. A good play by Kriegshauser, because he's given up a few pounds on that tackle and on Robinson, and that's where you got to get him. You got to get him low and just great form defensively.
This is the 10th play of this drive for Waterloo West. Started back at their 18-yard line. Schulte at quarterback. Back to throw. Throws into the end zone. He's got a man open. Got behind the defender. And the pass is caught. Touchdown, Waterloo West, on a nice pattern that time by the receiver. And I believe that's Tay Norman. And he got behind the defense in a well-thrown ball by Carter Schulte.
Tay Norman did a little stutter step in there and caught Klein just a little flat-footed, and then went right by him, and Austin closed the space, but didn't get it done fast enough as Schulte put it right where only Tay could get to it.
Extra point now coming by Jackson Hoppus. The hold will be by the young man who caught the touchdown, Tay Norman. And it's 7-6 Dowling with 1:09 remaining here in the first quarter. West now a chance to tie it. Ball is down. The extra point is partially blocked. Did it go over? It did not. Partially blocked by the Maroons. And Dowling comes up with a big play there as I think Pettis got a piece of it, and the extra point is no good. So the score remains Dowling 7, Waterloo West 6, 109 remaining first quarter, back in 1 minute here on Iowa Catholic Radio and Drake Stadium.
Thank you, Skeffington's Formal Wear, for sponsoring Dowling Catholic High School football. In business since 1951, Skeffington's Formal Wear offers quality service, style, and selection, providing tuxedos, suits, and casual groom attire for weddings, proms, and any other special occasion. Skeffington's Formal Wear, with convenient locations in Des Moines, West Des Moines, Davenport, Coralville, and Ankeny. All locations are family-owned and operated by members in their respective communities, fitting you for life celebrations. Online at skeffingtons.com.
And we're back here at Drake Stadium. Mark Hemedale alongside Matt Mendring, John Chido. It's Waterloo West set to kick off. It's Jackson Hoppus, who had his extra point blocked, and the difference of the ball game. Dowling leading 7-6 with 69 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. And Matt, a nice drive by Waterloo West. They went 10 plays and 82 yards on the drive.
They did just what their stats show and just what they've shown on tape is that they're going to throw the ball down the field. They're going to take their shots, plod along, give Robinson the football, then take their shots when they can. And again, that was a nice throw by Schulte and a good catch there by Tabe.
All right, here's the kickoff, and Louis Brooks has it at the 15, kind of bobbles it, gets across the 20, down the near sideline 30, makes a move 40, and reverses the ball in his hand, and is finally run out of bounds at midfield. Nice run back by Louis Brooks as he got it from his own 10-yard line. We'll call it about a 44-yard return, and that puts the Dowling offense in great field position here, Matt.
It does, and Carson Brown was blocking downfield there for Louis and probably earned Louis another 20 yards or 15 yards just because he was staying on his block, and he stayed on his block for about 10 yards. Way down the field, good disciplined football, and just a good play by Carson to help free up Louis and get the Maroons into Warhawk territory.
All right, first down Maroons. We'll go down to John Chido here after this play. Pistol formation for Dowling. And let's see, is Smolik in there at quarterback? I believe he is. Jackson now with the inside handoff, and that is Swager with the penalty flag down, kind of bounced his way and finally brought down inside the 40-yard line, but a penalty flag down. And we'll see what this is all about. Let's go down to John Chido on the Dowling sideline after that drive by Waterloo West.
Yeah, that was a nice pitch and catch from Schulte to Tig. And it was a straight go route, and Austin kind of got flat-footed there, and the wide receiver for Waterloo was able to get by him. But what a nice block by Pettis, and Austin Klein came back and assisted on that blocked extra point for the Maroons.
No question about that difference of the ball game. This penalty, though, was not, as Dowling being penalized on this play back to midfield here, Matt, with the final 47 seconds of the first quarter.
It's two holding penalties already, and just not, where you want to be at this time of the season.
All right, I'll bring up first and 14 for the Maroons. It's a spot penalty, and Smolik back to throw on play action, fires the ball downfield. That is a rifle shot, and it's nearly caught by Koa Thompson down the right sideline, actually right seam, incomplete. And boy, Jackson unleashed it for his first pass of the game.
Yeah, he did. That was a rifle shot about 30 yards down the field right at Koa, and just a half a step more, and it would have hit Koa right in stride, and Koa did everything he could, laid out, and just couldn't quite get on it.
Smolik overthrew him, and it'll bring up second and 14 Dowling. They'll move Thompson to the right of the formation, and two receivers to the left. And Smolik now with Swager in the backfield. 27 seconds remaining in the quarter. Motion goes Louis Brooks left to right. Here's the snap. Smolik setting up the screen, fires the pass off, and it's caught out of the backfield, and a nice catch that time by Swager, and he gets his way, maneuvers his way inside the 40-yard line and is out of bounds with 14 seconds remaining at the 37 of West.
Right play at the right time. Waterloo West, or West Waterloo, was bringing everybody, and a little screen play there and dropped it off, and they're in business. Doesn't look like Dowling's going to get a playoff.
That'll be the final play of the first quarter, as the game clock has no time remaining, and the game clock has just run out. I think they're going to redo this. The ball
should have been stopped.
Right. And nope, that's the end of the first quarter. The umpire says that's the end of the first quarter. We'll take a break. With the score, Dowling 7, Waterloo West 6, along with Matt Maindring and John Chido, I'm Mark Amadale, back to Drake Stadium for the third round of the Class 4A football playoffs on Iowa Catholic Radio.
Thank you, Dental Associates, for underwriting Dowling Catholic Sports 365. With over 40 years' experience, Dental Associates is a group dental practice with the mission of promoting optimum health and well-being to all patients, providing preventative, restorative, and cosmetic dentistry for the entire family. Message underwritten by Dr. Kenton Gleichman, Dr. Steve Karbaka, Dr. Christine Mulcahy, and Dr. Ben Nagel. Dental Associates, addressing your smile, needs, and dreams. Online at DesMoines-DentalAssociates.com.
Hi, I'm Al Cresta, host of Cresta in the Afternoon. After the Second Vatican Council, Catholic laity began to take co-responsibility for the church, and the Catholic radio movement is one of the great fruits of that post-conciliar church. Catholic radio edifies, it exhorts, it encourages, it educates, it engages the culture, and on occasion, we entertain a bit. You're partners with your local Catholic radio station. Support them.
You can give securely online at iowacatholicradio.com, the Iowa Catholic Radio app, or call 515-223-1150. Iowa Catholic Radio, KWKY Des Moines, K233BT Des Moines, KIHSAA Dell. Listen online anytime at iowacatholicradio.com or download the Iowa Catholic Radio app.
And we're back here at Drake Stadium. Mark Amadale, Matt Maindring, and John Chido. We're also broadcasting tonight, audio streaming it through the Central Iowa Sports Network, CISN.TV, audio only. Just like radio here, Smolik back to throw, fires it out, caught by Louis Brooks, turns the corner at the 35, and going to be wrestled out of bounds. They'll spot forward progress down to the 35. A gain of 2 for the Maroons on a 2-yard pass from Jackson Smolik to Louis Brooks.
Little play action there and get Louis in the out pattern, and the corner's got to be playing a little bit soft on Louis, and Louis runs it a yard past the sticks, gets the first down, and Maroons keep the ball.
So first and 10, Dowling from the 35 of Waterloo West. Maroons going left to right towards the south end zone here at Drake Stadium. Inside handoff, and it's a sweep. Louis Brooks trying to get outside the numbers. He does, and he finally turns the corner, and he's hit and dropped. Nice tackle that time inside the 30 of Waterloo West, down to the 28-yard line. So Louis, a pickup of 7. It'll bring up second down and 3 for Dowling.
And you can see Dowling right now trying to stretch the defense from sideline to sideline, and as Coach Wilson's trying to make them move from side to side and keep it away from those two linebackers inside. Those two can make plays, and they can't make plays out there.
Yeah, Ewell, we haven't heard much from him tonight. Number 40, he is our leading tackler, has 47 tackles on the year. And Jeremiah Finn, who we talked about on offense, also the leader. He's one of the safeties. Now we got a timeout called by Dowling. So we'll take a 1-minute break. 10:58 remaining second quarter, and it's Dowling 7, Waterloo West 6 here on Iowa Catholic Radio and streaming at CISN.TV.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio and Dowling Catholic Sports is provided in part by Ashworth Vision Clinic. With 2 licensed optometrists, Barbara Sheets, a Dowling graduate, and Dr. Craig Harper, the Ashworth Vision Clinic team provides complete eye exams, contact lenses, glasses, glaucoma testing, and pre- and post-operative care. Ashworth Vision Clinic is located at 60th and Ashworth in West Des Moines. 515-440-4610 or online, ashworthvision.com.
Thank you, construction professionals, for underwriting our show, Man Up, heard Mondays at 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. Construction professionals have been long supporters of Iowa Catholic Radio, and we've seen their work. It's beautiful.
They do remodeling or new construction that is innovative, functional, and designing what you want. It's a family business built on a strong foundation to create a new or remodeled home that is uniquely yours.
CPCustomHomes.com. From our family to yours, God bless. Thank you, construction professionals.
And we're back here at Drake Stadium out of the Dowling timeout. It's 2nd and 4 Maroons. The line of scrimmage is the Waterloo West 29-yard line as Louis Brooks with a gain of 6. Handoff up the middle to Swagger, and he bounces his way near the 25-yard line. They're going to call forward progress right at the 26, a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 3rd and short for the Maroons, 3rd and about a yard.
Robinson and Ewell get up off the bottom of the pile there and make the stop, but that offensive line for Dowling just pushed that defensive front back to 5 yards, and they're getting their way up front.
Zach Swagger, gain of 3. It'll bring up 3rd and 1 Smolik at quarterback. They give us the right side, and that is one of the quicker backs that time. That's Adam Townsend. He picks up the first down to the 19-yard line. So how about that? A little dose of Middleton and Swager, and then you get the tailback in there, Townsend, who picks up the first down.
Good job by that front there for the Maroons. Finn Claypool on that one was leading that as he was leading up the hole there for the running back and just cleared a lot of space.
Yes, he did. So first down Maroons, ball on the 19-yard line, 7-yard gain by Townsend. Dowling with one receiver to left, Louis Brooks in motion. They fake it to Louis. They give it to Townsend again, and he gets inside the 15 and brought down near the 12-yard line. He'll pick up 7 or bring up 2nd down and 3 for the Maroons. And all of a sudden, Coach Wilson going to his third running back. And he's got a few more in that cluster. He brought up a couple of sophomores for this game, but Townsend getting the carries here, a little bit quicker to the hole.
He is. He gets to that line of scrimmage in a hurry, and as that offensive front is just having their way with the front four from Waterloo West or West Waterloo, and the quicker back can make things happen in that position.
So back-to-back 7-yard runs by Adam Townsend, and it's 2nd and 3 for the Maroons. Louis Brooks in motion right to left. Here's a pass by Smolik into the end zone, and he's got a man open, but he overthrew his intended receiver, Mac Anderson, incomplete on the far corner to the left side of the end zone here at Drake Stadium.
He did have him open there just for a little bit as Louis runs the short route on that pattern, and then Mac Anderson's running the deep route. Of course, Louis draws the attention and left Mac open for a split second, just overthrown.
All right, Townsend will stay in there at tailback. He'll line up to the right and a little bit behind the quarterback, Jackson Smolik, the sophomore. 2 receivers left and one to the right. The one to the right for Dowling is Mac Anderson. Here's a snap. Smolik looks at Anderson, now wants to run, turns the corner, and fires it in the end zone. The pass is nearly intercepted and incomplete. Jeremiah Finn almost came up with it. Another two-way player for West Waterloo. It'll bring up 4th down and the field goal unit in for Dowling.
Yeah, Jeremiah Finn wants that one back, and Smolik rolls out and was going to run, and then he saw late, and they always say never throw back across your body into the middle, and he did, and I couldn't see which receiver he was throwing it to, but Jeremiah Finn stepped in front of it and just off his hands.
All right, the Maroons will attempt a 29-yard field goal, and in to attempt the field goal is Jake Calvert. He's 3 for 3 on the season. The hold by Steingraber. A left-footed kick. Ball is down. Kick high enough. And it is good. So Jake Calvert, 4 for 4 on the season, and this time from 29 yards out. And the Maroons now lead 10-6 over Waterloo West. We'll take a 1-minute break and return from Drake Stadium. It's Dowling 10, Waterloo West 6 here on Iowa Catholic Radio and streaming through the Central Iowa Sports Network.
Hi, this is Cy Kellett, host of Catholic Answers Live. When you support this station, you offer a lifeline to a soul in need. You help save a marriage or an innocent life or a young person crushed by secular pressures. That's how powerful the message of God's love in Jesus Christ is. We're all called to share the good news of God's love given to us in Jesus, and that is exactly what you do when you offer your support.
You can give securely online at iowacatholicradio.com, the Iowa Catholic Radio app, or call 515-223-1150.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio's broadcast of Dowling Catholic sports and activities is provided by Kemin, a global ingredient manufacturer using science to transform the quality of life for 80% of the world. Kemin is on the leading edge of molecular science, manufacturing more than 500 specialty ingredients for the human and animal health and nutrition, pet food, aquaculture, nutraceutical, food technologies, crop technologies, and textile industries. Kemin strives to sustainably transform the quality of life every day for 80% of the world with their products and services. Kemin, using science to transform the world. Online at kemin.com.
And we're back here at Drake Stadium as Dowling now extends its lead to 10-6 off the field goal by Jake Calvert of 29 yards. Now a squib kick by Diego Leon, and it's picked up by Jeremiah Finn and returns to the 40-yard line or thereabouts. It'll be first down Waterloo West as they trail 10-6 with 8:59 remaining here in the second quarter. Let's go down to John Chada. We haven't heard from John in a while. The Maroons settled in for 3 points there, John. They couldn't get that first down. They brought in Calvert for the field goal.
Yeah, when Dowling runs that RPO run-pass option system, the number is there for the run, and Jackson decided to keep it and try to make a throw and make a play. Fortunately, Dowling was able to come up with 3 points, but Waterloo West has only taken one shot downfield, and they were very successful for that touchdown, so they got to limit the big play here on defense.
That's a good point. And now here's a handoff. Schulte gives it to the tailback, and that is Jay Straw. And he does a lot of east-west running there, Matt. He can't get can't turn the corner there on the right side, and he's hit and driven down right at the 35. He'll lose 4 yards.
Kriegshauser comes up, and Carson just did an outstanding play there. Had that read all the way, and comes and makes contact in the backfield and creates the tackle for a loss.
So that'll bring up 2nd down and 15 on the 4-yard loss by Waterloo West as they're taking their time. The play clock down under 15. Line of scrimmage is the 35-yard line. And now we've got a timeout called by head coach Lonnie Moore, and we'll take one ourselves with 8:16 remaining. Second quarter for a football playoffs 3rd round. It's Dowling 10, Waterloo West 6 from Drake Stadium in Des Moines here on Iowa Catholic Radio and streaming at the Central Iowa Sports Network.
Thank you to Mercy One for their support of Iowa Catholic Radio. From the cardiovascular experts at the Iowa Heart Center to the pediatric services of Mercy Children's Hospital and Clinics, Mercy provides complete care for Central Iowa's adults and children with more than 50 primary care and specialty clinics in the Des Moines area. Find a convenient Mercy One location near you. Online at mercydesmoines.org.
Did you know you have a choice in your child's education? Smaller class sizes, dedicated teachers, a sense of community, and a caring learning environment, whether it's in the classroom or at home. Diocese of Des Moines Catholic Schools deliver the best value in education, and we offer tuition assistance to help you afford it. Learn more about how the Catholic schools in the Des Moines Diocese might be the right choice for your child. Visit dmdiocese.org/schools.
And we're back here at Drake Stadium, the West Waterloo timeout. It is 2nd and 14 for the Warhawks on their own 35-yard line. Schulte now back to throw, rolls to his left, throws across his body. The pass is out of the hands and incomplete of the intended receiver right below us, and that was Nate Ewell, who we haven't heard a whole lot about, but a tremendous two-way player. It looks like, you watch him, looks like one of those offensive tackles, tight ends, and he's built like a linebacker. He is something else, and that's who Coach Wilson talked about on the team that he saw on film, and we saw him touch the ball there for the first time offensively.
Yeah, he's built like one of those fullbacks, as you said, coming out of the backfield, typical Valley type thing where they send that fullback out. And Michael Woon right there on that play got great pressure on Schulte and made him try to throw, didn't let him get his feet set on the run as he rolled out and forced him to throw it a little quick.
So to bring up 3rd down for Waterloo West, 3rd and 14 from their own 35. And now Schulte, a quarterback draw, and he's hit and dropped. He's actually carried forward up near the original line of scrimmage, but he'll be sacked. And it'll bring up 4th down, and the punting unit coming in for West. Tremendous job up front there, Matt, by the Dowling defensive line.
Yeah, Chase Patton and Jalen Pettis, Russell Pearson, and Michael Woon all just stayed home on that thing. I don't know if that was design quarterback draw, but the coverage was great. That you see Dowling on that series dropping more, a little cover 2, trying to prevent that deep ball from happening, and that's throwing the Warhawks off a little bit.
So the punting unit comes in. Jackson Hoppus will step back inside his 25-yard line. Good snap, and now we got stoppage of play. Timeout Dowling.
We got Coach Wilson. Coach Wilson just ran a 30-yard dash right there.
We saw him do that in the Dome the last time.
Yeah.
I think he had a leg injury the rest of the summer, but nonetheless, timeout on the field. We'll take one ourselves. 7:30 remaining here in the second quarter from Drake Stadium. It's Dowling 10, Waterloo West 6 here on Iowa Catholic Radio, and we're streaming tonight at CISN.TV, the audio only.
Thank you, Dental Associates, for underwriting Dowling Catholic Sports 365. With over 40 years' experience, Dental Associates is a group dental practice with the mission of promoting optimum health and well-being to all patients, providing preventative, restorative, and cosmetic dentistry for the entire family. Message underwritten by Dr. Kenton Gleichman, Dr. Steve Karbaka, Dr. Christine Mulcahy, and Dr. Ben Nagel. Dental Associates, addressing your smile, needs, and dreams. Online at Des Moines-DentalAssociates.com.
everyone. This is Dr. David Anders, host of Call to Communion. Catholic Radio is the best tool we have for evangelization in the church today. I believe your support of your Catholic radio station can make an eternal difference in the life of an individual, a family, and in society. So support Catholic Radio.
Would you consider a $30 a month donation? Your support keeps Iowa Catholic Radio on the air, connecting people to Christ.
You can give securely online at iowacatholicradio.com, the Iowa Catholic Radio app, or call 515-223-1150.
And we're back here at Drake Stadium, and the Louis Brooks Show is on. The punt by Waterloo West, fielded by Louis, right around the 25-yard line. He picks it up after a couple bounces and coverage down there and goes through a pile, gets it all the way, Matt, from the 25 up to the 48-yard line. 1st and 10 Maroons. Mr. Excitement, Louis Brooks.
It was one of those plays where there's a coach who's saying, no, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. Good job. Yeah, and he scooped that thing up after it was rolling around the ground, and Louis is a gambler once in a while. That was good. It ends up being a good play.
We got an injured
Jeremiah Finn down.
Waterloo West. He was the first guy on coverage for West Waterloo when Louis made the punt return. John Chido, you had a front row seat with that one. Louis Brooks, if you're a coach, you didn't want that to happen. But as a fan, that was exciting.
Yeah, Louis makes you nervous, and I was watching it the whole way. He was just kind of debating, well, should I pick it up, should I not? And he timed it perfect on the bounce and scooped it up and in stride and made a couple great cuts to get the ball out down the field. Just remarkable play by Louis.
7:17 remaining here in the second quarter. Dowling leading 10-6 over Waterloo West. The Maroons have a first down at their own 48-yard line. Valley leading Urbandale 17-0 at Urbandale Stadium. That's one of the scores. Middleton with the handoff, and he gets across midfield down to the 48-yard line. Gain of 4 for Cam, and it'll bring up 2nd down and 6 for Dowling Catholic.
That's a good sign. See Cam back in the ball game there. It's his first carry since he went out, and explodes through there, and that line is starting to take control up front, and you can see this starting to gain momentum as they go.
No question about it, and we'll get you caught up with other scores as we can. Cedar Falls leading Ankeny 9-8, and Waukee leading 13-7 over Indianola at early scores. Handoff Middleton again, and he blasts this way near a first down to be stopped shy right at the 43 of Waterloo West. So Middleton on back-to-back carries there.
40 Ewell. This is a big thing right here. Michael Robinson for West Waterloo hurt his shoulder there trying to tackle Cam, and don't know if he's had dislocation problems before, but it might just be a stinger on that left side.
We got an official timeout as they attend to Michael Robinson, the 5'11", 210-pound senior linebacker and tailback for West Waterloo. We'll keep it here. I want to thank our supporters of Iowa Catholic Radio all season long. They include Ashworth Vision, Construction Professionals, and Dental Associates. And, of course, our Red Zone sponsor is Bozen the Florist. Say more with Bozen online at bozen.com, 515-244-ROSE. That's 515-244-7673. Alongside Matt Maindring, I'm Mark Amadale. Let's go down to John Chido. He's on the Dowling sideline after the injury to the young man Michael Robinson, the linebacker for West Waterloo. Johnny, give us an update.
Yeah, Mark, when you lose a guy on defense with Waterloo West, they've now had 2 guys go down, both your two-way players, and you're losing 2 players essentially, and that hurts. And as this game drags on, if guys keep going down, the more players they lose, they're going to be in a lot of trouble, especially these key players for Waterloo West.
Thank you, John, for that report. A reminder today, I don't know if you went up to Fort Dodge today, Matt, this morning, but congratulations to the Dowling cross-country teams. Dowling girls finishing 13th. The state champs in the girls in Class 4A was Johnston, followed by West Des Moines Valley, with Ankeny Centennial finishing 3rd. On the boys' side, the Dowling boys finishing runner-up. They were defending champs. Sioux City North defeated the Maroons by just 8 points. With Dowling finishing 2nd, Cedar Falls 3rd, and Waukee finishing 4th. And congratulations to Tim Ives and the Dowling boys. Number 2 finish at Boys State Cross Country. Yes, it was held today, not on Saturday, due to the spreading it out. All right, back to live action here. It's 3rd and 1 for the Maroons, and now we got a stoppage of play.
There's going to be a penalty on the Maroons here.
It's usually procedure, and it is. They'll back them up 5 yards. So before they ever got going, they got stopped. Penalty by Dowling Catholic. That'll move the Maroons back to the 47-yard line. And it'll bring up 3rd and 6. It's 3rd and 1 before the penalty.
Forced a personnel change here now as they bring a pass package in.
Look where they have Lynch lined up at the bottom of the, well, it'll be the bottom of the screen. It's to the right of the formation near the sideline, back to throw, and now penalty flag down again. And we're going to have procedure against Dowling Catholic again. So back-to-back 5-yard penalties, and this will go to 3rd and 10 now for Dowling.
I couldn't see who that procedure was on, but the Warhawks are bringing a guy up in there in that guard center gap and kind of making him dance around a little bit, and I don't know if that caused the twitch or what up there, but the Maroons are going the wrong way.
So it's 3rd and 10, Dowling. The line of scrimmage back to their own 48. Blitz is on, and now here is Smolik back to throw. He fires it out for Brooks. Louis caught it. Did he stay in bounds? He did! Inside the 30 of West Waterloo. First down. A one-handed catch with a toe down in bounds.
Great catch by Louis, and Dupree Banks was in coverage there and just got completely turned around. And the ball was almost overthrown a little bit there, but Louis adjusts, makes a great, as you said, one-handed catch and taps the toe and stays in bounds.
23-yard reception by Louis Brooks, and just an amazing catch. He can do it all. And it's 1st and 10, Dowling at the West 29. Handoff, Cam Middleton. Right up the gut he goes. He's tripped up inside the 20. One man to beat, and he was into the end zone. Finally, a touchdown-saving tackle by Jeremiah Finn, their strong safety.
And here you see the Maroons starting to go with pace here a little bit, go with that tempo.
Down to the 20-yard line. It's 2nd and 1 from the 20. Handoff Middleton. He's got the first down and more. Still on his feet at the 10, and he plods his way all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. 1st and goal, Maroons.
I think they're going to keep running the same play. That was the exact same play they ran the play before, and they're going to run it again right here.
Well, they got 16 yards that time. 1st and goal, Maroons. Pistol formation. Swagger, the fullback, and they hand it off to Middleton. Still on his feet. Touchdown. Touchdown, Cam Middleton and Zach Swagger with a tremendous block at the fullback spot.
One of those things that you see is that he same play, 3 plays in a row, and just pounded that ball down the field and got the stop, or got it into the end zone. We got a player down for the Warhawks.
6 plays, 52 yards on the Dowling drive, and the extra point will be delayed as a young man for Waterloo West. He was holding his shoulder. I don't think that is Robinson, is it?
No, I think
it's number 11.
I don't know if he's holding his shoulder or if he's got his knee. I don't know.
That's Clayton Rottinghouse. Their linebacker has 19 tackles coming in, and he is down. So we've got a timeout on the field. Dowling leading 16-6. Let's bring in John Chida while we have Del Lark is down there with the Waterloo West training staff, and so is Dr. Zachary. Johnny, give us an update. Nice run, nice play by that drive by Dowling. 6 plays, 52 yards, and Middleton runs of 9, 16, and 4 yards for the touchdown.
Yeah, Cam did an excellent job keeping his feet moving and his pad level low and just gaining ground and is really running hard in between the tackles, and that's really good to see. That offensive line is doing a tremendous job up front as well. And that, Mark and Coach, that was 3 straight power plays where you pull the backside guard right up the hole, and it's just the numbers and the leverage that the Dowling offensive line has been able to establish has just been remarkable that last drive.
And Johnny, I mentioned to you, I think 1 or 2 drives earlier, might have been in the last quarter, when Dowling's going to play their tempo, and instead of just taking the normal play clock down to maybe 10 seconds, the Maroons are getting back in, and there is no huddle because they get all their signals from their positions. And the Maroons decide to do tempo right during that drive. And a leg injury now to Rottinghouse, it looks like. But your thoughts on the Dowling going tempo a little earlier?
Yeah, it's bingo, bingo, bingo is what they're calling. Just on the ball, do the same exact play 3 times in a row. And the defense is unable to get set and get guys in position where they needed to be. And it allows Dowling's offense to do that up-tempo and be successful at it.
Well, the left leg of Clayton Rottinghouse, he's being assisted off the field, helped from the field by their trainers, and we hope it's nothing severe, Matt. You never want to see that.
Yeah, it looked like it was his ankle probably. You hope it's not the knee.
So the extra point, Diego Leon in, Steingraber to hold. The extra point by Dowling is up and good. Dowling now leads 17-6 With 5:40 remaining here in the first half from Drake Stadium in Des Moines, you're listening and watching the third round of the Class 4A football playoffs here on Iowa Catholic Radio, and streaming tonight, streaming audio only on CISN.TV.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio and Dowling Catholic Sports is provided in part by Ashworth Vision Clinic. With 2 licensed optometrists, Barbara Sheets, a Dowling graduate, and Dr. Craig Harper, the Ashworth Vision Clinic team provides complete eye exams, contact lenses, glasses, glaucoma testing, and pre- and post-operative care. Ashworth Vision Clinic is located at 60th and Ashworth in West Des Moines. 515-440-4610 or online, ashworthvision.com.
Thank you, construction professionals, for underwriting our show, Man Up, heard Mondays at 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. Construction professionals have been long supporters of Iowa Catholic Radio, and we've seen their work. It's beautiful.
They do remodeling or new construction that is innovative, functional, and designing what you want. It's a family business built on a strong foundation to create a new or remodeled home that is uniquely yours.
CPCustomHomes.com. From our family to yours, God bless. Thank you, construction professionals.
And we're back here at Drake Stadium on the kickoff by Diego Leon, returned by Waterloo West, and not a bad return as Devontae Betancourt on the return gets up near the 20-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10, Waterloo West from their own 20-yard line. Dowling leading 17-6. The Maroons go 6 plays, 52 yards, capped off by Cam Middleton's 4-yard run, and Diego Leon with the extra point. And Matt Mainring, it's Waterloo West football. Let's see how they respond with 5.5 minutes remaining here in the half.
This is a big series for them to not let the game get away from them right here, because if they get to 3 and out and Dowling gets the ball back, it could start to become a one-sided game here quickly.
The Warhawks come out. Line of scrimmage is their own 21-yard line. They're going right to left, south to north here at Drake Stadium. Schulte back to throw. Carter Schulte wants to run, looking downfield, and now crosses the line of scrimmage and run out of bounds inside the 30-yard line. So he'll pick up 8-9 yards on the play.
Good hustle by Jalen Pettis. He was chasing him down, chasing him all over. And Schulte's not one that takes off real quickly. He's going to take his time, wants to throw the ball down the field. And to this point, West Waterloo has done a really good job of giving him protection. We had no sacks on the night yet for the Maroons, and they've given him time to throw the football.
Yes, they have. And it is a 2nd down and a long 2 for Waterloo West. Line of scrimmage is their own 29. Schulte back to throw, now being pressured. He gets out of it, has the 1st down, across the 35 and out of bounds near the 36-yard line. Boy, he was under the grasp of a couple Dowling players on the far sideline. We got blocked out, but nice job by Schulte. Carter Schulte, a 6'1", 175-pound senior, picked up the 1st down for Waterloo West.
It looked like, and I couldn't tell if it was Pettis and Patton both met at the quarterback and knocked each other off of him, because it looked like he was sacked in the backfield, and he squirted out and gets the 1st down.
Back-to-back 8-yard runs by the West quarterback. Handoff in the backfield and hit and dropped. He was met head-on. Jack Meyer hit and dropped him in the backfield, and that was the tailback. He was actually listed as starter for Waterloo West, and he was hit. That's Jay Shaw.
That's preparation right there. Meyer read it and was coming on the blitz already, it looked like, and he ran right into it and creates the tackle for a loss there for a big loss.
4-yard loss on the play, and it'll bring up 2nd down, and they're going to call it 15 for Waterloo West. The ball on their own 32-yard line. 4.5 minutes remaining, 2nd quarter. Schulte sends a man in motion. That's Jeremiah Finn. Here's the snap. Schulte with the lateral pass, and the ball is tipped and incomplete. The ball did go forward, so it wasn't a backwards lateral, but it was a lateral pass forward, incomplete. And that ball got up high enough that there was a couple of Maroons around there. One of them was Kriegshauser, who already has an interception tonight, Matt.
Yeah, Tay Norman, that ball goes off his hands, and as the offensive coach in that situation, you're sitting there going, nothing good's going to happen right now. And as that ball hung up in the air. But fortunately for the Warhawks, Maroons couldn't get to it in time, and they lived for another play.
Well, when you throw that lateral pass, that means you're trying to get your not giving up in the running game, but you're trying to get your receivers, your speed athletes in running lanes outside the numbers, and that's what happened there. Schulte back to throw, throws it downfield. The ball is wobbling, and it is knocked away incomplete by Dowling Catholic as Blake Anderson was down there for the Maroons, and also Jake Anderson, and one receiver for West Waterloo, but they threw that in a double coverage, and that was not a well-thrown ball. The intended receiver was Tay Norman.
And he was behind the defense. Tay Norman got behind the defense there, and Dowling has been playing a little more cover two, and both safeties were in front, and the ball was underthrown by a little bit. Otherwise, that could have been 6 points.
That is correct. So in the punt will be Jackson Hoppus for West Waterloo. Standing back at his own 35-yard line, Louis Brooks. Here's the left-footed kick by Carter Schulte, who stays in there to punt. They changed punters. Schulte, the quarterback, and here's Louis with it at the 40, near side, and pursuit coming up and catching him right at the 47-yard line. Tried to turn the corner, so a nice return that time, about 15, 20 yards for Louis Brooks. 1st and 10 Dowling in great field position at their own 47-yard line with 4:14 remaining here in the second quarter. Dowling 17, Waterloo West 6 here on Iowa Catholic Radio. And let's go down to the Dowling sideline. That is where John Chida was at. Johnny?
Well, that errant throw by Schulte, you have to credit the Dowling defensive line making Schulte flush the pocket and try to throw the ball away from where he's rolling. And that's a tough throw to make. And it was a great job by the Dowling defensive line.
All right, thank you for that report. John is on the Dowling sideline right in front of us here on the west side of Drake Stadium. And now little Mr. X Steingraber in the backfield, tried to get it to Zwager, and Zach and him kind of weren't on the same page.
Yeah.
And Jake does all he can to get back to the line of scrimmage, maybe gained a yard up to the 48-yard line.
Yeah, Zach and him, as you said, they had their wires crossed, and Zach went on the opposite side of where Steingraber was expecting him, and Steingraber makes a play to get a couple yards, make a positive play out of it at least.
Bring up 2nd down and 9 from the Dowling 48. Maroons are get to the line of scrimmage with one receiver to the left, two to the right. Dowling going left to right towards the south end zone here at Drake Stadium. Steingraber now wants Louis Brooks to go in motion right to left. Swager in the backfield on play action. Back to throw Steingraber over the middle. The pass is intercepted. Intercepted by Jeremiah Finn and for West Waterloo, and he's loose down the far sideline, finally run out of bounds inside the 35 of Dowling. And that had bad news written all over it. And now a penalty flag as Louis Brooks loses his temper, and that's not good. So this will be half the distance to the goal from there. But Steingraber threw it right to Finn.
Yeah, Louis comes up and makes a nice tackle to finish the play and was in enemy territory there and got surrounded in a hurry and just lost control there for a little bit. And, the ball was thrown into the middle of the field, and there's a lot of traffic going on there, and the Warhawk defense comes up, makes a play, and now they're in business.
Yep, and stops the clock with 3 minutes, 20 seconds remaining. Dowling up 17-6, and West Waterloo was run out of bounds at the 34-yard line. They're going to tack on 15 more due to the personal foul and sportsmanlike conduct by Louis Brooks, and that'll put the Dowling defense defending the red zone. John Chidle, come on in after the interception by Finn.
I think they just ejected him.
And we'll see if we can pick that up. And I think the referee's going to talk to Coach Wilson. Johnny, go ahead.
Well, Andrew Lynch got knocked off his route there, Mark, trying to come across the middle. But before that, Louis coming in motion, and Waterloo West didn't adjust to the motion, and the linebacker for West knocked Lynch off his route, and the middle linebacker was there to make a play on the football.
All right, so West now with a first down at the Dowling 19-yard line. And now back to throw Schulte. He's going to throw right into the end zone, and the pass is caught. Did he stay in? Touchdown. Touchdown, Waterloo West, as they strike on the first play following the interception as Carter Schulte hits his wide receiver in the far corner, and that was Tay Norman.
Yeah, Tay Norman gets out loose there and got out and got leverage there, and Schulte put it where only Tay Norman can get to it, and it scores the touchdown, and we have had a turn of events here in a short amount of time.
So Norman's second touchdown of the night. He caught one from 32 yards out back in the first quarter. This time from 19 yards out after the penalty by the Maroons. And that's Carter Schulte's second touchdown pass. And the score is now 17-12 with 3:14 remaining here in the second quarter. And now Waterloo West will attempt the extra point. Let's see who's in there.
Yeah, I was going to say, they're going to go for two. They are going to kick it here.
And DeMonte in for the extra point. That is not their normal kicker. So Jackson DeMonte, ball down. They fake it. A little lateral to Carter Schulte, and they throw it towards the end zone. It's out of bounds, incomplete. Or rather, caught by Finn, but he's knocked out of bounds, and the two-point conversion is no good. It's a little razzle-dazzle there. Score remains Dowling 17, Waterloo West 12, with 3:14 remaining second quarter. Back to Drake Stadium for the Class 4A football playoffs here on Iowa Catholic Radio and streaming tonight audio on CISN.TV.
Hi, everybody. Dr. Ray here from The Doctor Is In. Did I explain to you my Amway theory? Very simple. You give to this station, you support Catholic radio, and you get a percentage credit of all the lives that are changed. This is true. I've been at this business a long time. I'll tell you, if you only knew the amount of people whose lives have been changed by Catholic radio. So you support this station. It would be hard to find something where your support goes as far as it does.
You can give securely online at iowacatholicradio.com, the Iowa Catholic Radio app, or call 515-223-1150.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio's broadcast of Dowling Catholic sports and activities is provided by Kemin, a global ingredient manufacturer using science to transform the quality of life for 80% of the world. Kemin is on the leading edge of molecular science, manufacturing more than 500 specialty ingredients for the human and animal health and nutrition, pet food, aquaculture, nutraceutical, food technologies, crop technologies, and textile industries. Kemin strives to sustainably transform the quality of life every day for 80% of the world with their products and services. Kemin, using science to transform the world. Online at kemin.com.
And welcome back to Drake Stadium in Des Moines. Mark Amadil, Matt Maindring, and John Chido with 3:14 remaining here in the second quarter. It's Dowling leading Waterloo West 17-12 as West with a one-play 19-yard pass. And the second time Tay Norman has caught a touchdown tonight from his quarterback Carter Schulte. And all of a sudden it's 17-12, and now here is the kickoff by DeMonchi, and it's fielded by Dowling at the 10-yard line as Louis Brooks is not in there. We understand he has been ejected from the game. Nice return that time by the Maroons. And that was Mac Anderson. So that's where Dowling will start, 1st and 10, right around their 30-yard line. Let's go to John Chido on the Dowling sideline for an update.
Well, Tay Norman, again, with the just a go route, and was able to get behind the Dowling defense and come up with another big touchdown pass. That's twice now, 2 big plays, both to Tay Norman from Schulte for Waterloo West scores.
All right, Dowling's offense on the field. They're going to have to do it without Louis Brooks tonight. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Dowling going left to right in front of us towards the south end zone. First down at their own 31-yard line. The give is to Middleton right up the gut, a quick opener. And Cam across the 35 up near the 37-yard line on the play from his own 31-yard line. Gave about 5 or 6.
You're going to see this tempo come out of this Maroon offense right now again, as they've been able to run the football, and you're in that 2-minute range, and they're going to keep things rolling right now.
No, they certainly will. And now here is Steingraber in there at quarterback. Hand off to Middleton. Cam's got the first down. He blasts his way across the 40 up to the 43-yard line. That'll stop the clock, but the Maroons will just reset.
Robinson is back in there for the Warhawks. He went down with a shoulder earlier, but it's probably just a stinger, and now they have their 2 linebackers in there, and they're going to have to tighten up because right now that offensive line is taking over.
Now Sam Gavin, Dominic Varelli, Jake Olson, Gabe Carey, and Finn Claypool along with Lynch. They're just taking over. A handoff again to Cam Middleton. Breaks the tackle. He's got the first down in West Waterloo territory as he crossed the 50 and run out of bounds at the West 44.
Johnny talked about it from the sideline there. Dowling is pulling a guard and just outnumbering him at the point of attack, and no one's getting a hand on Cam Middleton until he gets 5 yards down the field.
Yeah, that's a 13-yard run for Cam, and boy, that's all done up front, as you know, Matt. 1st and 10 Maroons from the West Waterloo 44-yard line. Steingraber under center. Now we got a penalty flag down, and we've got a dead ball procedure call again. That's the 3rd or 4th penalty against Dowling here in the first half, and I think half of them, or most of them, have been all procedure calls.
2 procedure calls in that last series to back him up 10 yards, and then Louis made the great catch on the sideline. This one, as the momentum is going, and that's the whole thing, the tempo. With that tempo, you don't want something like that to stop you.
Penalty backs the Maroons up to the 49. It's 1st and 15, Dowling. Here's the snap. Steingraber on play action, fires to the left. It's caught at the 40, and finally driven down is the Dowling receiver, and a nice catch that time.
It looked like Koa Thompson. Yeah, it was Koa Thompson, number 19, out of the slot position, came across on that crosser and got into that void and makes a nice catch.
Down to the 39, a gain of 10. So I got some of the yardage back. Thompson with the catch. First, it'll be a 2nd down and 5. Handoff again, and that is running with the football. Cam Middleton, or is that?
No, that time it's Will Herman.
Herman is in there.
Yeah.
I have to
25?
Look. Yeah, I got to look here. I don't think it was
26.
26.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Townsend.
That's Townsend again.
Townsend
so
again,
the Maroons
yeah.
are rotating running backs, and Townsend with the run, and that is Adam Townsend all the way down, and now they're going tempo again, and the handoff this time, and that is Townsend again, and he's dropped right about the 12-yard line.
That's one of those plays you wish you could show on TV and show the replay. There are 3 maroon jerseys out there leading him around down the field as Kokenauer is out in front as well at that fullback position and just paving a path.
A gain of 8 that time for Adam Townsend. He gained 19 the play before. Now we got an injured West Waterloo Warhawk right now with minute 4 remaining in the first half. Timeouts remaining. Dowling has 1. West Waterloo has 2. The score, Dowling 17, West Waterloo 12. And we're going to take a break as the injury timeout. Waterloo player on the ground. And we'll be back with more from Drake Stadium, the third round of the high school football playoffs. Dowling 17, West Waterloo 12. 64 seconds remaining in the first half. Back in 1 minute on Iowa Catholic Radio and streaming at CISN.TV.
Thank you to Mercy One for their support of Iowa Catholic Radio. From the cardiovascular experts of the Iowa Heart Center to the pediatric services of Mercy Children's Hospital and Clinics, Mercy provides complete care for Central Iowa's adults and children with more than 50 primary care and specialty clinics in the Des Moines area. Find a convenient Mercy One location near you. Online at mercydesmoines.org.
Did you know you have a choice in your child's education? Smaller class sizes, dedicated teachers, a sense of community, and a caring learning environment, whether it's in the classroom or at home. Diocese of Des Moines Catholic Schools deliver the best value in education, and we offer tuition assistance to help you afford it. Learn more about how the Catholic schools in the Des Moines Diocese might be the right choice for your child. Visit dmdiocese.org/schools.
And we're back here at Drake Stadium. Nate Ewell was the injured West Waterloo player, but we're back to action. Handoff Cam Middleton from the West 12. Cam pulls his way into the end zone. Touchdown right up the gut over right guard and tackle. Touchdown Dowling. 12 yards out for Cam Middleton. And for Cam tonight, that's his second touchdown. And Matt, Dowling goes downfield, started at their own 31-yard line, and about 7 or 8 plays later, they score.
We talked about it without Louis Brooks in the field, and in the last series, they were starting to establish themselves as the run, and with Ewell out, that just leaves the gap at that linebacker position, and Cam Middleton is just pounding on them right now.
Maroons extend their lead to 23-12. The extra point is up and good. It's 24-12 Dowling over West Waterloo as Diego Leon's extra point is good. We'll take a break. 57 seconds remaining in the first half. Dowling 24 and West Waterloo 12 here on Iowa Catholic Radio. And we're streaming audio tonight through CISN.TV.
Thank you, Dental Associates, for underwriting Dowling Catholic Sports 365. With over 40 years' experience, Dental Associates is a group dental practice with the mission of promoting optimum health and well-being to all patients, providing preventative, restorative, and cosmetic dentistry for the entire family. Message underwritten by Dr. Kenton Gleichman, Dr. Steve Karbaka, Dr. Christine Mulcahy, and Dr. Ben Nagel. Dental Associates, addressing your smile, needs, and dreams. Online at Des Moines-DentalAssociates.com.
This is Dr. Ray Guarendi from The Doctor Is In. Okay, I'll confess. Years ago when I was asked to be on Catholic Radio, I peremptorily said, no thanks. And then I realized the power of Catholic Radio. As I got emails and letters from folks who have come back to the church, whose families converted, whose lives were made better. It's training for the troops. It makes better Catholics, better Christians out of the folks who listen, and then they go out to transform the world. Your gift works to make a difference for you.
You can give securely online at iowacatholicradio.com, the Iowa Catholic Radio app, or call 515-223-1150.
And we're back here at Drake Stadium on the kickoff by Dowling Catholic. Returned by Waterloo West across the 20 up to about the 25-yard line is their return player, Devontae Betancourt. And that's where the Warhawks will have it. 1st and 10 from their own 25 with 51 seconds remaining in the first half. Let's go down to John Chido on the Dowling sideline. Johnny, Dowling going 7 plays, 69 yards, and Cam Middleton right up the gut for 12 yards, his second touchdown of the night.
Yeah, Cam is really running hard. We said it before, in between the tackles there, and it's just a straight power play. It's been very successful for the Maroons tonight in between the tackles with the pulling backside guard.
Maroons going with a combination that time of Adam Townsend, and then after the injury timeout by Waterloo West, the Maroons go right back to Cam Middleton on that drive, Matt. So back to throw is Schulte. A double lateral. Now they throw it again. That's Tyree Gardner, and he's hit and dropped. He can't get the ball out of his hands, and a couple of Maroons read that very well.
Great.
Schulte to Gardner.
Yeah, great play by Carson Kriegshauser as he came in and just grabbed him by the shoulder pads and drug him down. And it was definitely a double pass that was coming, and the Maroon defense was all over it.
Loss of 7 on the play. The game clock runs down to 25 seconds. Remember, Dowling only has 1 timeout, so they really can't stop the clock to get the ball back. And let's see if they even run another play. 24-12 is our score. Dowling leading West Waterloo. Our halftime guest will be the president of Dowling Catholic High School, Dr. Dan Ryan. And at halftime, we'll be interviewing Coach Tom Wilson of Dowling Catholic as the handoff goes to the tailback that time for West Waterloo, and that is Michael Robinson, and he's chopped down right at the 21-yard line, gain of 3, and that'll be the final play of the first half as the Maroons go into halftime leading 24-12. Maroons led 7-6 in the first quarter, but Dowling has put up a field goal and 2 touchdowns, one both by Cam Middleton, the field goal by Calvert, to take a 24-12 lead here at halftime, and we'll catch up with head coach Tom Wilson as John Chida will do that on the Dowling sideline as the Maroons lead it. And let's take it away, John Chida, with head coach Tom Wilson of Dowling.
Well, Coach, you've done a lot of good things offensively in the first half. Some penalties set you back, but other than that, what are your thoughts?
Well, really, we've hurt ourselves, and even on the right before the pick, which it was the read wasn't what we wanted. We aligned incorrectly, which botched that play. It's more mental than anything else. If we just do our stuff, I think we can take some control. But if we don't, they've proven they can score at any time.
Thank you, Coach. Best of luck in the second half.
All right, John Chida with head coach Tom Wilson as the Maroons lead it by the score of 24-12 here at Drake Stadium on a pretty nice fall night, 43 degrees the temperature, east wind at 6 miles per hour. That's not been a factor, so much better conditions than what we saw last week, Matt. And you know what? Waterloo West, they have a nice team. You can see why they lead the state in Class 4A with their passing attack. They don't have much of a running game. We haven't seen too much of that, but we saw them throw the ball all around, and that'll continue in the second half.
They can stretch the field, and, Tay Norman is really a talented athlete and can get out there behind the secondary, and he's making things happen and creating opportunities for the Warhawks as they continue to make their miles through the air.
All right, Matt, we have to take a look at the first half numbers, and when I see Coach Seifert come down, Jarek brings us our halftime stats and our game stats. A guy from the math department, Jonathan Vanderau. His birthday is today, one of your teachers.
Yeah,
turned a big 29. I asked him last night when I was out at Dowling doing the interview with Coach Wilson. I said, how many times you turned 29? He said, no, that's the first time. So he's 29. Jonathan does a great job.
That's a math guy answer right there.
Exactly. No, first time he's turned 29. I don't know how long that'll last, but Jonathan was out there with the open gym, and he'll be part of the Dowling girls basketball coaching staff. Does a great job. Happy birthday, Jonathan. And I know he's listening, as many of the faculty and staff at Dowling do, so we appreciate that. But let's take a note. One of the staff members, hand me these numbers. Coach Seifert coaches third base during the summer in baseball. Get that right arm going, boy. He's always sending those guys home. And
I know it.
Coach Roaring's in the dugout. The head coach is like, what are you doing? But, that's how they work. It's a great combination. All right, let's take a look at the first half numbers. Dowling with 265 yards of total offense here in the first half. Waterloo West with 123 yards. Maroons have 84 yards passing, 181 yards on the ground. Waterloo West 91 yards passing and 32 yards on the ground. Dowling penalized 8 times for 49 yards. Waterloo West 1 penalty for 6 yards. And first downs, Dowling with 14, Waterloo West with 8. And Jake Steingraber at quarterback, 4 out of 7 passing, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. And he's thrown for 45 yards. Jackson Smolik, 3 out of 6 passing for 39 yards to lead Dowling. And Waterloo West, Carter Schulte, 2 out of 6 passing or 6 out of 12 passing, 91 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception for Schulte in the first half. For the Maroons, leading rusher Cam Middleton, 12 carries, 120 yards in the first half, and 2 touchdowns. Adam Townsend, 4 carries, 41 yards. Zach Swager, 4 carries, 9 yards for the Maroons. Louis Brooks, 1 carry for 6 yards. And Steinbreger, 2 carries for 5 yards. For Waterloo West, their leading ground gainer is Michael Robinson, 8 carries, 29 yards. The quarterback Schulte, 3 carries for 19 yards. Jay Shaw, 2 carries, -8 yards. And Tyree Gardner, 1 carry for -8 yards for Waterloo West. Leading receiver for Dowling, Louis Brooks, 4 catches, 50 yards, and a touchdown. Of course, if you heard earlier, he was ejected after a Dowling interception and will not play the second half. Zach Swager, 1 catch for 12 yards. Andrew Lynch, 1 catch for 12 yards. And Koa Thompson, 1 catch for 10 yards for the Maroons. For West Waterloo, Tay Norman, with 5 catches for 70 yards and 2 touchdowns tonight for Norman. And their other receiver, Jeremiah Finn, 1 catch for 21 yards. Again, the numbers in the first half, Dowling Catholic with 265 yards of total offense, Waterloo West with the 123. And Mr. Seifert, thank you very much for those numbers. And Matt, anything sticking out there for you as before we go to break?
Well, I think, it's the offensive line taking over and Cam Middleton really establishing himself up the middle and creating a lot of plays and a lot of yards. That offensive line has just become dominant, and they've really matured across that front, and with Claypool, Olson, Sam Gavin, Varelli, and Gabe Carey, they have taken over the ball game and creating leverage out there all the time, and it is really fun to watch. And for Waterloo West, as we talked about early before the game, their linebacker play gets wore down because they're both going both ways.
Going two
so
ways,
then
yep.
it does create some wear and tear on those athletes as they continue to play.
All right, we're going to take a break here at halftime at Drake Stadium. Dowling leading 24-12, along with Matt Mandring and John Chido. I'm Mark Amadale. You know the guy that's standing behind me?
Yeah.
This guy, Mr. Dr. Ryan. That's your boss.
I know it.
Yeah. My boss is on the field.
Yeah.
I don't know how we all work this out, but we are.
I know it.
And the Maroons lead at halftime. We'll be back with more from Drake Stadium. We'll talk to the president of Dowling Catholic High School, Dr. Dan Ryan, next here on Iowa Catholic Radio and streaming online tonight at CISN.TV.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio and Dowling Catholic Sports is provided in part by Ashworth Vision Clinic. With 2 licensed optometrists, Barbara Sheets, a Dowling graduate, and Dr. Craig Harper, the Ashworth Vision Clinic team provides complete eye exams, contact lenses, glasses, glaucoma testing, and pre- and post-operative care. Ashworth Vision Clinic is located at 60th and Ashworth in West Des Moines. 515-440-4610 or online, ashworthvision.com.
Thank you, construction professionals, for underwriting our show, Man Up, heard Mondays at 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. Construction professionals have been long supporters of Iowa Catholic Radio, and we've seen their work. It's beautiful.
They do remodeling or new construction that is innovative, functional, and designing what you want. It's a family business built on a strong foundation to create a new or remodeled home that is uniquely yours.
cpcustomhomes.com. From our family to yours, God bless. Thank you, construction professionals.
Iowa Catholic Radio, KWKY Des Moines, K233BT Des Moines, KIHSAA Del. Listen online anytime at iowacatholicradio.com or download the Iowa Catholic Radio app.
And we're back here at Drake Stadium. Mark Amadale, Matt Mandring, John Chido. Halftime, and Dowling Catholic leading West Waterloo 24-12. Here on Iowa Catholic Radio, and we're joined by Dr. Dan Ryan, the president of Dowling Catholic High School. Last week we had the presidential suite going on upstairs, and then this network thing took over, and we've been demoted to the second floor. So we tried to get it all set up. Unfortunately, Dr. Dan, we couldn't get the presidential suite. We appreciate President Martin here at Drake letting us have it for 1 week.
There you go. Well, I just wish I could have gotten in there, especially last week. It was a little bit on the cold side, but
have a seat.
Good
Make yourself comfortable.
With you today.
Well, good to be with you. And boy, what a year it's been. I mean, this is everybody's been going through it. The COVID. We mentioned that word, and it's like, oh, it affects businesses, it affects schools, and it affects parents, kids. It affects everything.
That's right.
And you're right in the middle of it. Your 4th year at Dowling? Is that right?
That's right. Yeah. Yeah, it's something that we joked around about. It was never in any of your administrator training classes on how to get through a pandemic.
Bet not.
But, we pivoted last year right after spring break and went on to required virtual learning. And And I just have to commend our whole administration and our teachers. They did an incredible job in putting it together and making the best of it. And that was a great effort. And then the summer was a little bit of a respite, but also a lot of planning. And it took a lot of effort, and I got to give Matt kudos and the rest of the admin team and our buildings and grounds and our business, even our advancement departments, really pulling together to make the beginning of this school year possible.
Well, how do you do with COVID and yet go through education and teach? How do you do that with students? That's quite a balance. And then who's teaching them? The teachers, the educators. How do you balance all that, Dr. Ryan? Because we've seen this juggling act going on in many businesses and homes and loved ones that are in nursing care that you can't see. How do we balance that?
It's a tough thing to put together and to make it work for everyone, but I think we've been pretty successful. We've tried to do everything we can for our teachers and staff to make sure they're safe, and that included changes to our HVAC system. We put in medical grade equipment there over the summer, new ways of kind of at lunch to keep the students a little bit safer there with a grid that we put in. So there's a lot of different things there, and just using a lot of common sense as well.
Well, a very unusual time, and the faith experience for the students. And how do you mix that with what you just talked about with COVID? That has to be a delicate balancing act.
So, of course, that's the whole reason Dowling Catholic exists, really to share that faith, to give those students a personal relationship with Jesus, and, it helped to perpetuate the faith to the next generation. And so we had to really stop and figure out how can we do some of these things. And we can have masses. We can't have all school masses at this time and feel safe about that. But we can have daily masses. We're having reconciliation still. Our Ut Feedem groups are still able to meet and do things a little differently. And it's just taking a little bit of common sense and putting it to the problems and trying to work through them. Because we have to make sure we have that faith experience there for our students regardless of what's going on. In fact, in many ways, this challenge is a good way of embracing your faith and really making it part of your daily life.
Sure, and COVID has forced innovation. Things obviously what the CDC, the doctors, the scientists want done, but it's also forced schools and places like Dowling to be innovative. Talk about a little bit of that.
This was probably one of the most interesting parts of the whole process in getting ready for the school year. We talked with a lot of medical officials, and we're grateful for their help, and they told us to prepare or to even encourage a high level of absenteeism. And when they said that, we started to think, okay, quarantines or this or whatever it may be, and how do we provide a high quality education if 20% of our students happen to be out at any one time? And so that's where we really went to technology, and I think that's what we had to go that direction early. It was May and June. We were making some pretty significant expenditures. We've had technology in the classrooms that was due for upgrades called smart boards, and those are an interactive screen, almost like your cell phone screen. The students, we were scheduled to have everyone on Chromebooks, so we went ahead with that, and luckily we ordered early enough that we were able to get them here in time for school. And then we did something different as well. We put a camera in the classroom and a microphone. And I think that was the differentiator, is because now, instead of how do I give them an assignment and I'll do it when I want, the expectation for every student, whether they're 100% virtual or they're just home for the day, is that they're up at 8:15, they're at that first class, we take attendance, they're seeing on their Chromebook exactly the same thing that the student in the classroom is. And I will tell you this, our paper consumption has fallen through the floor. Everything is done electronically, or most of the things are done electronically now. And so these are really innovation tools that we're going to continue to use for many, many years. It's kind of like we jumped forward 5 or 7 years over a summer. And there was a lot of a tough learning going on, and I got to give our teachers a lot of credit in those weeks before school that they really pitched in to help each other to learn the technology.
So, Dr. Ryan, you're saying there's no more snow days anymore because of virtual learning? What's going on with that?
There's a distinct possibility we don't need snow days. How you work through all that, and as we were joking around, some people said the worst idea in the world who thought of ever eliminating snow days, but we'll see.
We're in the Midwest. We got to have a snow day or two. What kid doesn't look forward to a snow day? It's snowing out.
Well, and staff, yes.
And staff, yes, indeed. Visit with Dr. Dan Ryan, the president of Dowling Catholic High School, in his 4th year at halftime here at Drake Stadium. Dowling leading West Waterloo 24-12, and the social emotional aspect of students' life at Dowling adds significantly to their experience. Are they able to continue this aspect and experience because of the COVID?
To be honest with you, we put so much effort and so much bandwidth was taken on getting ready for the academics and the faith parts of it that, we had a little bit of work to do on this in the first weeks of school. And so we kind of started to realize that while we were keeping kids safe, it wasn't nearly as much fun. Mm-hmm. Those kids who were in athletics, they were still having a good experience, but if you were a freshman coming in, perhaps even from a public school and didn't know a lot of students, it was hard to meet people.
Sure.
So we started to do some events that we felt were safe. We had a senior night out on the football field during homecoming where they could just hang out, and then we did a similar event for the freshmen. They had a fun night there. And then we also we've really made the effort to get our clubs going. And even Jeff Ferguson's done a great job with our activities. There's been, I think it was Monday nights, he'd just have bags down on the south end, and whoever wanted to show up can play. So we have 12 or 20 go bowling on Wednesdays. So I think that's really helped a lot in making it feel like a more normal experience.
Well, how do the students participate in some of the faith activities during this unusual time? What are some of the and you may have spoke to some of that, but how do they continue that?
Well, another really good example that is coming up, I believe Monday, is that we're having our All Saints, All Souls Day celebration. Mm-hmm. And if you've been at Dowling, that's a really special event because we give the students and the staff who've lost someone in the last year the opportunity to submit their name, and that can be read off, and there would be a candle lit during the Mass.
Sure.
And I can say even my second year, my father died, and that meant a lot to me. And we really didn't want to see that go away. So you have to modify things. So I believe we're going to have the seniors in the gym and spread out, and then the rest of the students in their classrooms, watching virtually again. And they've still been able to submit those names. And we can't do Mass that way, but we're doing a prayer service. So to give as close of a proximity to that as we can.
All right, we're running out of time here, Dr. Dan, but one thing I want to ask you is what are you most proud of throughout all this experience with dealing with COVID? Obviously, I'd start with your staff. The guy to my left is a big part of that, and you know that as well as I do, but the teachers, and I see all those people throughout the football games and all the activities at Dowling, but what are you most proud of?
It's definitely got to be the people. You can look at the students, and people will say to me, well, do you have to fight them about having the mask on during school? No, we don't. The leadership Matt provided, our other department heads as well, of really leading their people. And there was a day in that week before school started that it was pretty tense, and we had a group of lead teachers come in and tech people, and they sat down and we said, who needs help? And they wrote down the names, and I'll go spend an hour with them. And those are pretty proud moments when they're willing to step up to help their fellow teachers, the students, and Dowling be the best it can.
Well, Dr. Ryan, we appreciate you coming on, and we appreciate the relationship Iowa Catholic Radio has with Dowling High School, and yourself, Matt, and the whole crew, the administrative staff. We appreciate the working relationship, and we look forward to talking to you many times, maybe in the Dome here again. We've been up there a few times.
That's right.
Mr. Mainring has his own chair up there now. He may have to go search it out of the closet, but it's up there. But Dr. Dan Ryan, thank you for visiting with us, and thanks for all you do.
All right, thank you. We appreciate the relationship with Catholic Radio, and go Maroons.
Absolutely. We're going to take a break. We'll come back with the second half. Dowling leading 24-12 over West Waterloo. Third quarter about ready to start here on Iowa Catholic Radio and streaming at CISN.TV.
Hi, this is Father Larry Richards of EWTN Open Line Thursday, and we just want to encourage you to help us. We really need you to bring people to Jesus Christ. Think about it. What have we done to bring people to Christ? We need you and we need your help because Jesus tells you, go and make disciples of all nations. You can do that by helping us. God bless you.
You can give securely online at iowacatholicradio.com, the Iowa Catholic Radio app, or call 515-223-1150. Support for Iowa Catholic Radio's broadcast of Dowling Catholic sports and activities is provided by Kemin, a global ingredient manufacturer using science to transform the quality of life for 80% of the world. Kemin is on the leading edge of molecular science, manufacturing more than 500 specialty ingredients for the human and animal health and nutrition, pet food, aquaculture, nutraceutical, food technologies, crop technologies, and textile industries. Kemin strives to sustainably transform the quality of life every day for 80% of the world with their products and services. Kemin, using science to transform the world. Online at kemin.com.
And welcome back to Drake Stadium. We're underway here in the second half as West Waterloo will kick off. And they did, and a penalty flag thrown, penalty against West Waterloo. Dowling with 8 first-half penalties, West with 1. That is now their second penalty. And they'll kick off in the 35. That has to change for the Maroons, especially playoff time, Matt.
Yeah, they got to get that cleaned up, as Coach talked about before going into halftime right there. And it's one of those things that can't happen at this point in the season.
All right, here is the second-half kickoff by Jackson DeMonchi, and it's fielded by Dowling at the 5-yard line. Louis Brooks, again, ejected in the first half. And on the return, that's Mac Anderson, and he shows his athleticism all the way up near midfield before being tackled there by Devontae Betancourt, who makes a stop just shy of the 50-yard line. So Mac Anderson steps up there.
Mac Anderson says, "Louis, who? I can run this football too," and just show you can't replace Louis. And but Mac Anderson showed his acceleration right there, and the great blocking by that special team, by the kick return team there for the Maroons, and gets them started right at the 50 or 49.
Yeah, Dowling first down at their own 49 underway here in the third quarter. Maroons will go with the pistol formation. As the quarterback is Jackson Smolik, and he gives it to Zach Swager, and he just kind of bowls his way across midfield and picks up 5 yards down to the 46 of Waterloo West, and will bring up second down and 5. Let's go down to John Chido. Johnny, you're on the Dowling sideline before Maroons start going up tempo here. Well, we'll come back to John in a minute. It's now a substitution for the Maroons as Blake Anderson at tailback. And he'll replace Zach Swager. Second and 5, Maroons. Smolik, toss play, and that is to Blake Anderson. Left side, cuts it up, and he'll be shy of the first down, brought down at the 45 of West. That'll bring up be a gain of 1.
Gain of 1. The play was designed to go outside, and he turns it back up inside, and it's a good read on his part, and able to get a couple extra yards there. And again, when you go back into this defense and you're running into Ewell and Robinson, that's a tough task because they're roaming around back there making plays.
Yeah, Ewell was shaken up, but he's back in. That's good to see. All right, 3rd and 4 for the Maroons. Dowling at the 45 of West, and an inside handoff, and they give it to Zwager, and Zach near a first down. I think he got it. They spotted just shy of the 40-yard line. That's good enough for a Maroon first down.
Again, that misdirection, when they're able to pull an offensive lineman and lead up the hole and create numbers, they have been effective. And Zach Swager, nice strong run there for that young man as he finished that off and gets first down for the Maroons.
All right, Swager stays in at tailback, 1 receiver to the left and 1 to the right. And Dowling now with 2 tight ends, 1 on each side of the formation. They hand off right up the gut to Swager, and he goes right over center, bowls his way inside the 35, down to the 33-yard line. A pickup of 8 yards, and it'll bring up second down and short for the Maroons. And, boy, that just blew up. 2 tight ends on each side with the Maroons, and they found a way to just go right up the gut there, Matt.
And they're doing it again, and this offense is picking up right where it left off at the end of the first half and just establishing, dominating at the point of attack at that line of scrimmage. And between the tackles right now, it is all Maroons.
That is Swager again with the carry, and they spot him down right around the 30-yard line. And it's a first down Maroons as Zach spots the ball right at the 29-yard line, we'll call it. He picked up 4 there. He picked up 8 in the previous play. And pistol formation. And the inside handoff to Swager, left side, and now he's wrapped up. Nice job by the interior line of Waterloo West, and he'll spot him down to the 28-yard line, a gain of 1.
Adam Tier there, the 6-foot, 230-pound senior for the Warhawks, was able to get on to Swager right there early and get him stopped up before he get to that second level.
24-12 is our score. Dowling Catholic leading Waterloo West here in the third quarter. 9 minutes, 20 seconds on the game clock. Maroons now approaching the Bows and the Flores red zone. A handoff Swager right up the gut again, right over center and down to the 25-yard line. He'll pick up 3, and it'll bring up third down for the Maroons. Third and about a long 5.5 yards for a first down.
Kogenauer's doing some great job blocking up front right there. And right there, Zach Swager had this nice little subtle stutter step to the side and got in the crease and made that a very created a positive play.
All right, 2 receivers to the right, tight end to the left for Dowling Catholic. Here's the snap, and Smolik gives it on to the tailback again, and that's Swagger. Zach inside the 25, down near the 22-yard line. He'll be shy of the first down. He'll bring up fourth and 2 from the 21-yard line.
And you got to think they're not even hesitating. They're going to go for it here and see what play they call up here, is what kind of misdirection. And I kind of expected to see Cam Middleton come in, and there he is right now.
So 4th and 2 from the 21-yard line. Pistol formation, Middleton, the tailback. Smolik, a long count, 16 seconds on the play clock. Handoff Middleton. He's got the first down inside the 20 down to about the 16-yard line. And it did come out at the end as he was hit. And Cam is slow to get up. He's disappointed. And fumble recovery by Waterloo West at the 16-yard line.
Yeah, I made a nice run there for Cam as he got to that second level, and then the ball, I couldn't see if the hat got on the ball there, but the ball ends up on the ground, and the West Waterloo team gives themselves some life here to start the second half.
A rare turnover by the Maroons, and it'll be West Waterloo 1st and 10 from their own 16-yard line. Cam had the first down, and then they had the ball poked away. John Chido, let's go down to you. A tough turn of events there for Dowling.
Yeah, and Coach Wilson mentioned it at halftime. It's self-inflicted. Dowling's moving the ball with great tempo, especially on the ground. The offensive line is dominating the line of scrimmage, and then penalties and turnovers has been the storyline that stops these drives.
Yeah, it certainly is. Now handoff on first down for West Waterloo, and they give it to their tailback, who was listed as their starter tonight, Jay Shaw, but Michael Rompson got the start. But Shaw with the carry that time, and he gets back to the line of scrimmage, and that's about it, man.
Yeah, Robinson's kind of dinged up, and he's expending a lot of energy on defense, and they're going to save him from that offensive side of the football, and it's not happening.
All right, Carter Schulte back to throw, has pressure, and he's going to go down inside the 5-yard line. Several Maroons around him, and they drop him inside the 5, and it'll bring up 3rd and a mile for West Waterloo as they got him deep in their own territory that time on the sack that time.
There was a great interior pressure there as Russell Pearson ends up latching on and able to take Schulte to the ground with a big loss there as they've got them deep in the hole right now.
Loss of 11 yards on the sack, and it'll bring up 3rd and 21 for West Waterloo. Schulte with 3 receivers to his right. West Waterloo going left to right towards the south end zone here. Here's the snap. Schulte being chased out of the end zone, and he's hit and dropped back at the 3-yard line as well defended by the Maroon secondary as he couldn't get the pass off, Matt, and it'll bring up 4th down from their own end zone, and big number 51 for Dowling making the initial hit, and that was Michael One.
Michael One makes a nice play. In the first half, you started to see the defensive front for Dowling getting too much downfield and getting too far into the backfield, which allowed Schulte to step up and make throws, and there they got that stopped.
All right. Schulte will be the punter. High snap. Schulte gets it down, gets a left-footed kickoff. High short kick. Maroons are going to let it bounce inside the 30, and it's down at the 27 of Waterloo West. So about a 22-yard punt, no return, and Dowling with great field position. As the Maroons lead it 24-12, they'll continue to be near the red zone. Updated score. This is a surprise. Indianola leading Waukee 28-26.
Wow.
That game being broadcast live tonight on TV 13. Keith Murphy and Justin Cernsey on the call, as that's one of the first local stations to do a live broadcast, a playoff game. So that game is at halftime. 28-26. Indianola leading Waukee in Waukee at halftime. Now the Dowling offense on the field, and we'll go down to John Chido after this play as they bring in Swagger at fullback, Middleton at tailback, and the quarterback is Jackson Smolik. He'll send a man in motion right to left, and that is Koa Thompson. The handoff goes to Middleton. Cam finds a hole, still on his feet, tripped up inside the 25, down near the 20-yard line on the carry.
Schwager's position at fullback, and that's where he's more of his natural position. That's where he played last year and leading it, and it was, Coach Wilson there had a lot of confidence in Cam Middleton and give him the ball back right away after he put the ball on the turf, and Cam paid it off. I mean, he made good.
And the ball is just shy of the 21-yard line. Middleton will pick up a 7 or bring up 2nd and 3 for the Maroons. Jackson Smolik, the sophomore quarterback in. He has Middleton in the backfield. And the give is to Middleton, left side, and he's hit at the 20, spins away at the 15, dives forwards, got the first down near the 10-yard line. They'll spot him down at the 11. That's a 10-yard run and a first down, Maroons.
Great change of direction right there as the defense over-pursued and allowed a cutback lane for Cam, and once he put the brakes on, a little hard for him to put the brakes on than a normal back with those big legs, and he made a nice run right there.
5'11", 215-pound junior is Cam Middleton. First down, Dowling at the 11. Here's Smolik. Give up the middle. Right over the center is Middleton, and he bowls his way down to the 5-yard line. And it'll be second down and about 4 for Dowling. Yes, Dowling can get a first down at the 1, but it'll bring up second down here.
The offensive line again, and it sounds like a broken record, but they are just hammering away at them up front right there and not allowing Ewell or Robinson to get to the football.
And Varelli is still in there. He's battling that shoulder tonight, the Dowling left guard. Here's a snap. Smolik, a handoff, Middleton left side, kind of feels his way through, diving towards the end zone, and he's down at the 1, inside the 1.
He will get the first down with that run, and that's the one thing that Cam does several things well, but the one thing he does well is he finishes every run forward. He's always falling forward at the end of the run.
First and goal, Dowling at the 1, Middleton on the carry. Here's a snap, and handoff Middleton, touchdown. Walks into the end zone over the left side, touchdown Dowling. As the Maroons now extend their lead to 30-12, pending the extra point, and it all starts with the offensive line. Sam Gavin, Dominic Varelli on the left side, Jake Olson the center, Gabe Carey the right guard, Finn Claypool the right tackle, and both tight ends, Andrew Lynch and Caden Sanders in that drive we saw as the Maroons pounded away. They take the ball from the West 28, and they score in 5 plays. Extra point by Diego Leon is good. 31-12 is our score. Dowling with the lead over West Waterloo. 4:08 remaining third quarter. Back in 1 minute here on Iowa Catholic Radio and streaming audio tonight through CISN.TV.
Thank you to Mercy One for their support of Iowa Catholic Radio. From the cardiovascular experts at the Iowa Heart Center to the pediatric services of Mercy Children's Hospital and Clinics, Mercy provides complete care for Central Iowa's adults and children with more than 50 primary care and specialty clinics in the Des Moines area. Find a convenient Mercy One location near you. Online at mercydesmoines.org.
Did you know you have a choice in your child's education? Smaller class sizes, dedicated teachers, a sense of community, and a caring learning environment, whether it's in the classroom or at home. Diocese of Des Moines Catholic Schools deliver the best value in education, and we offer tuition assistance to help you afford it. Learn more about how the Catholic schools in the Des Moines Diocese might be the right choice for your child. Visit dmdiocese.org/schools.
And welcome back to Drake Stadium. Mark Hamadale alongside Matt Maindring. Here's a kickoff by Diego Leon, and it's fielded by Waterloo West. And not a bad return. They start the left side and finally run out of bounds. That might be his best play tonight. Jay Shaw, the starting tailback, runs out of bounds right about the shy of midfield for West Waterloo.
Diego Leon again, and this happened one time last week.
It did.
And he's the safety valve, and usually you don't put your kicker in that position, but he is a good tackler.
He's the free safety on the kickoffs.
Yeah.
And first down, West Waterloo. John Chattel, come on in. Let's get you caught up. The Maroons on that last drive, 5 plays, 28 yards, and Cam Middleton with his 3rd touchdown of the night for Dowling.
Yeah, Dowling's dominating that line of scrimmage like you mentioned, and they're getting 4 or 5 yards on that first down, which really helps the momentum, and they're running point of attack. There was no RPOs, double tight, 2 tight ends, and just establishing the line of scrimmage with that 4-3 defense that Waterloo West has shown.
All right, Schulte, a nice pass out in the flat to Nate Ewell, and he was hit. That could have went for big yardage. Finally tripped up at the midfield, gain of 5, but that could have went for big yardage with Ewell.
I believe that's Carson Kriegshauser out there, made a great shoestring tackle, and we got a late flag on the field.
Well, downfield it was, back at the Dowling 31-yard line. Let's see how they announce this as our officiating crew tonight, led by Mike Hansen from Newton. Congratulations to he and his crew. We've got illegal hands to the...
That's a weird call.
Yeah.
I don't understand when...
It's not an offensive interference.
No.
It's just illegal use of the hands by Dowling, and it'll add up add 15 more, actually 10 more yards to the play. First down at the 40 of Dowling.
After the catch, unless it was a hand to the face somehow on blocking,
block in the back, or
well, but
I'm not sure.
I don't know either.
We're not sure, but it's a first down for West Waterloo. They'll be at the Dowling 40. So
I was watching Coach Wilson's reaction. It was much like ours.
Befuddled. Fumbled. It's like, All right, here's the snap. Schulte back to throw. Wants to throw long, and he does, and overthrows his intended receiver, incomplete. And once again, that's Tyree Gardner, who's already caught 2 touchdown passes tonight. Overthrew him, and he had single coverage out there. Nice job that time by the Maroon defensive back, who was back there, and that was Blake Anderson, the free safety, helping out his corner.
Yep, and Austin Klein back there Tay is one of those kids that you just got to keep an eye on him whenever he's on the field because he draws attention. Well, that's the other Tay, isn't it? Because that wasn't Norman.
That's Tay
Norman's
Norman.
number 3. It was number 11. I think that was it wasn't 11 either.
That's Rottinghouse you're referring to. No.
Yeah.
All right, it'll bring up 2nd and 10. Schulte back to throw, throws off his back foot. The pass is incomplete. Kind of short hop by his intended receiver that time. That was Jeremiah Finn, and it'll bring up 3rd and long. And I want to catch it up with the score. Ankeny and Cedar Falls tied at 16 up at Ankeny tonight. Valley leading Urbandale 31-0. Winner of that game plays a winner of this game next Friday night. And could be a Dowling Valley rematch if the Maroons can hang on here, and the Tigers shutting out Urbandale at Urbandale tonight. Here's Schulte back to throw and play action. Fires it over the middle. The pass is incomplete. It was in and out of the hands of Ewell, but well defended. Single coverage that time by the Dowling defensive back, Matt, and he made a super play.
Carson Kriegshauser, number 20, just comes up and dislodged the ball from Ewell. As he's a big kid, Ewell is, and just couldn't hang on to it because Kriegshauser put his hat right on the football.
That'll bring up 4th and 10 for West Waterloo. Dowling 31, West Waterloo 12. 3 minutes, 9 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. Waterloo going for it here. 4th and 10 from the Dowling 40. Carter Schulte at quarterback. 2 receivers right, 2 to the left, 1 back in the backfield. Back to throw. Schulte steps downfield. The pass is caught. First down at the 25-yard line. A crossing pattern by Jeremiah Finn.
And
a Dowling player is down too.
We got a flag on the play.
So we'll see what this is all about. But a Dowling player shaken up, and that might be Kriegshauser.
I don't have a number yet.
I think I saw 20, and that's Carson.
Yeah, Carson Kriegshauser's had a great night on the field defensively for the Maroons.
And we'll you said the flag was on the field, and we'll have to see what this is all about. Let's go down to John Chido with 3:02 remaining here in the third quarter. Dowling 31, West Waterloo 12, and a penalty flag on the play. A injured Dowling player, Kriegshauser, we believe it is, on the play. And Johnny, take it away from the Dowling sideline.
Yeah, that is Carson Kriegshauser's down for the Maroons, and you hate to see that. But you're going to have holding on Waterloo West, so that play is going to come back, and you're going to repeat 4th down, which is good news for the Maroons. Gives them another opportunity to stop Waterloo West here on 4th down.
Well, John, I'm impressed with Dowling. Obviously, with Louis Brooks out with the being kicked out of the game with that unsportsmanlike. I'm impressed with some of the playmakers that are stepping up for Dowling. We've talked about this off and on throughout the year besides Louis, but Mac Anderson is one of them, and they've relied on him on special teams and also on the offense.
Yeah, you have Mac Anderson, and you also have Koa Thompson and Carson Brown, too. And, I don't know what the rules are with high school, with college, how it affects next week if Dowling does hold on and win this game. But that'll be interesting to see how that moves forward.
Well, Kriegshauser being helped off the field. Thank you for that report, John Chido. And I'm not sure if it's a leg injury because it looks like
a leg.
assisted.
Yeah, it looks like it could be a leg injury. Whether it's the ankle or the knee, it's hard to tell at this point. And how far down on his leg they're going to work here. I couldn't tell if he went down awkwardly on that play or not. And I was wondering if Waterloo was going to change what they were going to do here because now it's 4th and 24 instead of 4th and short, and now they call timeout
and
after all that.
Yeah, a holding penalty on West Waterloo. We'll take a break. 2:54 remaining here in the third quarter. Dowling 31, West Waterloo 12. From Drake Stadium in Des Moines, you're listening to Class 4A football playoffs here on Iowa Catholic Radio and streaming audio tonight on CISN.TV.
Thank you, Dental Associates, for underwriting Dowling Catholic Sports 365. With over 40 years' experience, Dental Associates is a group dental practice with the mission of promoting optimum health and well-being to all patients, providing preventative, restorative, and cosmetic dentistry for the entire family. Message underwritten by Dr. Kenton Gleichman, Dr. Steve Karbaka, Dr. Christine Mulcahy, and Dr. Ben Nagel. Dental Associates, addressing your smile, needs, and dreams. Online at DesMoines-DentalAssociates.com.
Hi, this is Father Mitch Pacwa, and our Lord said if you give a cup of cold water to a disciple because he's a disciple, you get a disciple's reward. We thank you for your support of Catholic Radio because we are trying to be faithful disciples, and we trust that as you are generous, our Lord will also reward you with a disciple's reward.
You can give securely online at iowacatholicradio.com, the Iowa Catholic Radio app, or call 515-223-1150.
And welcome back to Drake Stadium. Mark Amadale alongside Matt Mandering. As the punt by Waterloo West, they decided to punt it away, Matt, and it's fielded by Koa Thompson right about the 10-yard line. He returns at about the 30, and we have penalty flags down. They're trying to sort all this out.
And they're going to get blocked in the back by the Maroons, which is going to really put this offense in a hole. And, the way they've been running offensively right now, it doesn't matter what part of the field we start on, what part of the field the Maroons start on. They're just going to run the ball and just pound it at them right now.
So the Maroons deep in their own territories where they'll start this drive. Ankeny has just scored against Cedar Falls, so the Hawks lead at 23-16 over Cedar Falls. In another 4A playoff game, now Dowling with the first down at their own 9-yard line. That's a big change of possession. 21 yards the Maroons lose after Koa Thompson's return due to the block in the back. And now here is Steingraber back to throw, and the pass is incomplete. Pass was nearly intercepted, and a Dowling receiver down, and I think they're going to call pass interference as Mac Anderson was tripped up.
Yeah, they get their feet tangled up there as he made his cut and ends up taking him down, and they threw the flag.
So it'll bring up first down again for Dowling with the first 15-yard from the line of scrimmage. So
get the yardage back.
Put the ball at the 24-yard line. They started at the 30 originally.
Yeah,
so they get it back.
Not quite all of it.
So they'll get some of it back. John Chidle's in the Dowling sideline. Give us an update. We saw Carson Krieghauser. They're working on his right knee, and hopefully that's not too bad a news, John, but you never know.
Yeah, they're observing him right now, and he's in a lot of pain. He definitely is going to be out for the rest of this game, and hopefully he can be back next week. I think you're going to see a lot of guys here in and out, and hopefully not have any more injuries for the Maroons.
I hope you're right. Handoff goes to Townsend. Adam Townsend back in at tailback, as the Maroons have used 3 tailbacks tonight. Adam from his own 24-yard line with the first down, spins out of a tackle and up near the 29-yard line for a gain of 5.
Some tough yards there for Townsend. He took some hits and finished that run and was really pounding the football right there. Nice strong run by Adam.
So that'll bring up second down and 5. They're going to give Townsend a gain of 5, and thus the 2nd and 5. Pistol formation as Jake Steingraber, the senior at quarterback. Read option. The give is to the tailback, and that's Townsend first down yardage across the 35 and up near the Dowling 40-yard line. That's a gain of 11 and a first down.
You just see the difference between him and Cam Middleton. It's, Cam is a little more plodding when he goes in that, right. Hard to bring down, but Townsend, when he hits that line of scrimmage, he is a bullet.
So it's a 11-yard gain for Townsend. 1st and 10, Dowling from the 40. Handoff again to Townsend, right up the gut. Offensive line. That center and right guard, Olson and Carey, they're running right over them. Finn Claypool, the right tackle. Varelli, the left guard, who's battled a shoulder injury this week, and he's still playing. And Sam Gavin, the left tackle. And, of course, the tight ends tonight, Andrew Lynch and Caden Sanders.
And we haven't talked about Lynch from the offensive side from as far as receiving, but he is doing some great job of blocking right now.
Well, the handoff to Townsend, and that time West Waterloo hits and drops him back at the 45-yard line. The young man who made the tackle is is shaken up.
Ewell, I think it looks like he's got cramps, and that young man is putting on a lot of yards. Unless that's Robinson, number 40. That's number 40. That is Ewell. And just getting some cramps.
All right, some updated scores. We mentioned earlier, Ankeny has taken the lead over Cedar Falls 23-16. And Waukee now, in the second half, just starting there in Waukee, leading Indianola 33-28. That game being broadcast on TV, TV 13. Keith Murphy coming out of the his first chance to visit with him a little bit this week. He used to do the games when he was at Channel 5, but Iowa State games. Did some basketball on that, and him and Justin Cerns here are making the call tonight on TV 13. So all over, of course, Pete Tarpey and the CISN crew are all over the place. They're up at Ankeny and over at Southeast Polk. So we'll try to get you some scores before we are off the air. The winner of this game between Dowling and West Waterloo will meet the winner of the Valley and Urbandale game. And at last report, it was Valley leading 31-0 over Urbandale at Urbandale High School. And that would set up a rematch, as of now, a Dowling Valley rematch here at Drake Stadium next Friday night.
Was there, should it be any different? I mean,
well, last year was for the state title.
Yeah, last year's for the state title.
This year will be the quarterfinals.
The year before it was, I don't know where it was along the way, quarterfinals or whatever. And you knew Valley was just going to continue to improve after their rough start. That Coach Swenson was going to get things turned around, and they have.
Ewell is the young man shaken up, and it looks like he is suffering that his leg cramp on the left side, walking off very stiff. It's just one of the things. We have colder weather. You still got to hydrate.
Yep.
And we've seen some dehydration there by Waterloo West, so Ewell will go off for at least a play. Now the Maroons will bring their lineup back in. Mac Anderson split out wide to the right. Steingraber at quarterback. And in the backfield is Townsend this time. Now check that. It is not. It is Blake Anderson. He gets the handoff left side, and he's finally hit and dropped by Tavius Campbell after a short gain from the 47. He may have gotten to the 48 for a gain of 1.
Yeah, it's so it's fourth down, and see what the Maroons are going to do here. It looks like they're going to go for it. The way they've been running the football right now, well, here comes the punt team.
So that's the first time we've seen them tonight. Jake Calvert, he's kicked a field goal earlier in this contest. Jake, a 29-yard field goal back in the second quarter, and this will be his first punt.
Dowling's short a couple players out there. They need a long snapper or something. I don't know.
That's Koa Thompson.
Koa Thompson's out there. Oh, they need a left guard. There they got it.
And they do
we're still short somebody.
I guess we called a timeout, Coach Wilson. We'll take one ourselves. It's 4th and 2, Dowling from their own 47-yard line with 41 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Dowling 31, Waterloo West 12 here on Iowa Catholic Radio and streaming audio tonight at CISN.TV.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio and Dowling Catholic Sports is provided in part by Ashworth Vision Clinic. With 2 licensed optometrists, Barbara Sheets, a Dowling graduate, and Dr. Craig Harper, the Ashworth Vision Clinic team provides complete eye exams, contact lenses, glasses, glaucoma testing, and pre- and post-operative care. Ashworth Vision Clinic is located at 60th and Ashworth in West Des Moines. 515-440-4610 or online, ashworthvision.com.
Thank you, construction professionals, for underwriting our show, Man Up, heard Mondays at 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. Construction professionals have been long supporters of Iowa Catholic Radio, and we've seen their work. It's beautiful.
They do remodeling or new construction that is innovative, functional, and designing what you want. It's a family business built on a strong foundation to create a new or remodeled home that is uniquely yours.
CPCustomHomes.com. From our family to yours, God bless. Thank you, construction professionals.
Welcome back to Drake Stadium. Dowling leading 31-12. Jake Calvert, a nice punt from his own 48-yard line. He gets a nice roll, drops inside the 20, rolls all the way down inside the 5 to the 3-yard line. And Coach Rami, the kicking coach at Dowling, has got to be very pleased. Peter Rami doing a great job with the punters and kickers, and he's got to be happy with Calvert, the senior punter, with his kick there.
He got that forward roll, and so it did hit the ground and bounced ahead just like you wanted to do in those situations, and got a nice roll. Cover team on the spot.
1st and 10, West Waterloo from their own 3-yard line. 28 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. Dowling leading 31-12. Out of their own end zone, Schulte with the handoff to his tailback, and that is the starting tailback that was listed, Jay Shaw, and he picks up pretty good yardage down the far sideline and gets the first down. Let's go down to John Shido during this segment. And, Johnny, I tell you what, Calvert with one heck of a punt of 49 yards with no return.
Yeah, it was kind of like your wedge shot, Mark, where it's supposed to back up. It just kept moving forward. But, that was a great punt.
How do you make that analogy?
That was pretty good.
I feel set up. I know tonight's trick or treat, but that's a pretty good trick. Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, I'll buy that. All right, here is a 1st and 10 from the 18-yard line on that 15-yard run by Shaw. And the quarterback, Schulte, keeps it. And that might be the final play of the third quarter as he gets up to the 22-yard line, gain of 4.
Jalen Pettis was able to get a little bit of jersey there as the defense, Schulte does a really good job of letting that defensive front push by him, and he steps up, and he's got time. But right there, Pettis got a hand on him, drug him down.
Yep, we've come to the end of the third quarter of play with the score. Dowling Catholic 31, West Waterloo 12. From Drake Stadium, Des Moines, you're listening to the 4A football playoffs, along with Matt Mandering and John Shido. I'm Mark Amadeo, back with the fourth quarter in 1 minute here on Iowa Catholic Radio and CISN.TV, streaming audio tonight.
Hello, my friends. Father Wade Menezes here of EWTN's Open Line Tuesday, where topics of faith, family, and fellowship are discussed each week, along with my giving general pastoral advice and catechesis. I'm asking you to faithfully support your local Catholic radio station, help give the Catholic faith to others by promoting solid Catholic programming in your local area. I strongly encourage you to become a faithful steward to your local Catholic radio station.
You can give securely online at iowacatholicradio.com, the Iowa Catholic Radio app, or call 515-223-1150.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio's broadcast of Dowling Catholic sports and activities is provided by Kemin, a global ingredient manufacturer using science to transform the quality of life for 80% of the world. Kemin is on the leading edge of molecular science, manufacturing more than 500 specialty ingredients for the human and animal health and nutrition, pet food, aquaculture, nutraceutical, food technologies, crop technologies, and textile industries. Kemin strives to sustainably transform the quality of life every day for 80% of the world with their products and services. Kemin, using science to transform the world. Online at kemin.com.
Iowa Catholic Radio, KWKY Des Moines, K233BT Des Moines, KIHSAA Del. Listen online anytime at iowacatholicradio.com or download the Iowa Catholic Radio app.
Hey, we're back here at Drake Stadium, underway in the fourth quarter. Dowling with a 31-12 lead over West Waterloo, as the Warhawks now will have a 2nd and 5 from their own 23-yard line. Tonight, Dowling's Cam Middleton has been involved with 3 of Dowling's touchdowns, and Louis Brooks on a 13-yard touchdown pass from quarterback Jake Steingraber. If you joined us late, Louis was kicked out of the ball game after a Dowling interception. Now Schulte will keep the football, and he runs for a first down up to the 30-yard line, a gain of 7 on a 2nd and 5 play there, Matt.
Yeah, again, the defensive front is getting too deep. And Schulte is able to step up in front of that thing and then have plenty of room and plenty of time to throw the football and scramble out of it. And so, and with Kriegshauser out of there right now, that's, it's one of those spaces that we have to fill right now, and it looks like right now that is, I can't see who the replacement is.
All right, they give it to Shaw on first down, and he's spun around and finally dropped maybe a couple yards up to the 30 to the 33-yard line. A gain of 3 to bring up 2nd down and 7. And the Bruins got an official timeout called on the play.
An injury, it looks like. Will Herman is the linebacker in for Kriegshauser and came up and made the play made the tackle on that play right there. So a good play by Will Herman.
The Bruins were in a kind of a prevent defense type of lineman.
Yeah.
4 down linemen, 2 linebackers, and 5. I'll call them corners, safeties, all across the 40-yard line at the time. And now they went back to more of a traditional defense. So they kind of mix and match in their defense based on position, field position, and down and distance for West Waterloo. West Waterloo going right to left, south to north here at Drake Stadium in their home white uniforms with maroon helmets and numbers. Dowling in their home maroon jerseys, white pants and white helmets. The home team tonight back to throw Schulte. He's under duress, fires it out, caught. And a nice catch that time by Orlando Vivians for the first time tonight. And he gets it all the way to midfield, a 17-yard reception.
Good play over the middle, and Russell Pierce was just a half a step short there from getting to Schulte, and Schulte just threw a nice football over the middle And big play for the Warhawks as they move the chains and keep this drive going.
First down, West Waterloo just inside the 50-yard line at the Dowling 49. Carter Schulte, the quarterback, senior, 6'1", 175 pounds, and he moves Vivians to the right side in motion. Schulte under pressure, and he's going to be hit and drop back at the 42-yard line of West Waterloo. He'll lose 9 yards on the play.
Yeah, but again, Russell Pearson, I believe, got home on that one. He got there and makes the play. We've got Joe Hughes in. Sophomore is playing some linebacker, outside linebacker right now for the Maroons in this position. As we start to see some different players, a few different players sprinkled in right now. And here's Jackson Langen came in for Hughes and on that defensive side of the football.
All right, 31-12, Dowling with the lead, 10.5 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter from Drake Stadium. The winner advances to play next Friday night against the winner of against the winner of Urbandale and Valley. Valley well out in front, 31-0. And now here's a little swing pass to the left side, well read by the Dowling defense. On the tackle, Max Deary, as they did a little, maybe a screen pass, if you will, to the left side of the formation to their tailback that time, Matt, Jay Shaw.
Max Deary was not fooled, and he does an outstanding job from that middle linebacker position for the Maroons, and a kid that loves wrestling and just flies to the football, and again, once he gets his hands on you, You're not going to get out.
All right, Jeremiah Finn, along with Gunnar Burton, split out wide to the left of the formation, 2 receivers to the right. Here's Schulte back to throw. The West quarterback scrambling, running to his left, penalty flags down. He throws it left-handed, incomplete to avoid the intentional grounding, but a penalty flag back at the 33-yard line of West Waterloo, and that may end up 10 more yards if it's a hold. We'll see as we're waiting for our official, Mike Hansen.
The front four is now getting pressure continuously, and Schulte is running for his life after every snap right now, and that defensive front is wearing down that offensive line.
So this will be a 10-yard spot foul. They're going to mark it off from the 35-yard line. They'll mark it all the way back to the West 25-yard line. Boy, is that a 20? That's a 19-yard change of possession right there. Oh, my.
3rd and a mile.
Yeah, 3rd and 36. Those boys on the clock over here.
Doing their math.
Goff and Leon over here.
You got to do that math problem. We need Seaford over here to figure that math problem
Well,
out.
the math department's stretched thin tonight. You know that, Matt.
Yeah.
31-12 Dowling, 9:15, game clock running, and it's 3rd and 36 from the 25 of West. Toss play, right side. That's Shaw trying to get outside the numbers. He can't. He's driven down at the 25. No gain on the play as the Maroons converged.
They did, and it looked like Finn Claypool playing a little defense right there on that play in a 3rd and long. Athletic young man, and letting him play both sides of the ball right there because he can run a little more speed in that defensive front, and he's able to do that.
Now to bring up 4th down for Waterloo West, and let's see if their quarterback, Schulte, will be the punter. He is. They had Hoppus in there a little bit. He may have been injured. We haven't seen Hoppus since the first quarter. Nice catch by Schulte, and gets a punt away, a left-footed kick, and it takes a Dowling bounce, and it'll bounce at the 45-yard line. And that's where Dowling will have it. 1st and 10 from their own 45-yard line. Jeremiah Finn will down the ball for West Waterloo, and the Dowling offense out there. Let's go down to John Chido. He is on the Dowling sideline. And, Johnny, give us an update. It's been a while.
Well, Dowling's defense has shown a different looks there, Mark. Going with a 5-man front. It's the first time we've seen that all year with the 2 linebackers and 5 defensive backs. And Austin Klein would move to that strong safety position and mixing things up. And that 5-man front, it was really getting after the quarterback.
Yeah, and it was very effective there as they were putting pressure. We talked about when Coach Boston, the Dowling defensive coordinator, was going to dial it up. First down Maroons, and Steingraber in at quarterback. Hands off to Cam Middleton. Bowls his way, still on his feet across midfield, and down at the 41-yard line or so. Yeah, they're going to give him the first down as he started at the Dowling 45. He just bowled his way over center and guard.
See a couple of bodies in there. So you got Matty McGee in there now for Varelli, I believe, at that tackle position, and giving him a break.
Middleton, a 14-yard run, first down Dowling. Cam up the gut again. He runs into one of his own linemen and still barrels his way through. He ran right into Josh Stanfield, who's in there at left guard.
Get out of the way. He's going to put a cleat mark in your back as he's running over you.
Cam running hard down to the 32-yard line to pick up a 9. Bring up 2nd and 1 Maroons.
The fun thing about Cam is he's a way different kid in person. Just a soft-spoken, nice kid, and it's fun to see him on the football field.
Handoff left side for the Maroons, and that is Townsend back in there, the quicker back, and he's inside the 20. The pile keeps moving, and I can see right now West is starting to get a little tired with some of those two-way players we talked about earlier, and Townsend on the carry.
The offensive line and you're seeing Waterloo or West Waterloo guys on their back as they're getting up off the ground from that offensive line, creating those pancake blocks out there and just having their way with them.
13-yard run all the way down to the 19-yard line for Townsend, so he's got for Townsend there, and now a handoff again. Middleton back in there, and Cam dives over a player and down to the 16-yard line, a gain of 3.
Yeah, we had the rotating couple guys in and out there on that offensive line, and here's we talking about that tempo. There's kind of a mixed tempo right now, and we're doing the tempo with the running backs. You bring the bruiser in. Now we got Townsend in.
Notice who the fullback is.
Yeah,
it's Swager. Zach Swager is the fullback. Goes from tailback to fullback. Handoff again. Townsend and finds the hole that Swager gave him inside the 10, down to the 9-yard line. An 8-yard run for Townsend, and Swager with the kick-out block.
And I think, as you go through the year, and the coaches might say this, Zach Swager filled a position early, but it's not his true position. His true position is right there as fullback, and he is a good one.
Yes, he is. So a 9-yard run for Townsend, and it's 1st and goal Dowling at the 8. Maroons lead at 31-12, 6.5 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter. Handoff Townsend once again. Gets outside left tackle, puts his head down, driving towards the end zone. Did he get in? They're going to spot him down at the 1-yard line, inside the 1, for a gain of 8.5.
I think Townsend's going to get the football back one more time.
If he stays in, they've been
interchanging
here. And they don't, so he's
going to get this one.
7-yard gain officially, and it's 2nd and goal from the 1. Dowling leading 31-12 and threatening here in the Bozen the Flores red zone. Say more with Bozen, online at bozen.com, 515-244-ROSE. That's 244-7673. Bozen makes a moment mean more. Steingraber at quarterback, long count, and handoff right up the gut. Townsend bowls his way in, touchdown. Touchdown Dowling, and Adam Townsend scoring for the Maroons. And on the night, Middleton has scored 3 times for Dowling at tailback, and Townsend now makes it the 4th rushing touchdown of the night for Dowling.
That's fun to watch as they just came down, and you just control and dominate the line of scrimmage the way that Maroon offensive line has.
So now the extra point, Diego Leon in there as Steingraber stays in the hold, and the ball is down, the extra point up and good. So the Maroons have increased their lead to 38-12 over West Waterloo with 5:35 remaining fourth quarter. We'll take a break and be back to Drake Stadium. You're listening to tonight's game here on Iowa Catholic Radio from Drake Stadium. Dowling 38, West Waterloo 12 here on Iowa Catholic Radio, and streaming audio at CISN.TV.
Thank you to Mercy One for their support of Iowa Catholic Radio. From the cardiovascular experts at the Iowa Heart Center to the pediatric services of Mercy Children's Hospital and Clinics, Mercy provides complete care for Central Iowa's adults and children with more than 50 primary care and specialty clinics in the Des Moines area. Find a convenient Mercy One location near you. Online at mercydesmoines.org.
Did you know you have a choice in your child's education? Smaller class sizes, dedicated teachers, a sense of community, and a caring learning environment, whether it's in the classroom or at home. Diocese of Des Moines Catholic Schools deliver the best value in education, and we offer tuition assistance to help you afford it. Learn more about how the Catholic schools in the Des Moines Diocese might be the right choice for your child. Visit dmdiocese.org/schools.
And here's the kickoff by Diego Leon, fielded by West Waterloo, and on the return is Michael Robinson. Turns a corner across the 15 and dropped at about the 17-yard line, and that's where West will start, 1st and 10, with 5.5 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter. Dowling 38, West Waterloo 12. The winner of this game plays the Valley-Urbandale winner, and Valley in control of that contest, so we could see a rematch here next Friday night. Let's go down to the Dowling sideline, Matt, and bring in John Chido. John?
Well, much better second half with limited the penalties and really just running that football point of attack like they did at the end of that first half, the Dowling offense. And Dowling's defense doing a lot of different things up front and putting a lot of pressure and keeping Schulte in that pocket. It's been a real success for the Dowling defense.
No question. And, Matt, when you say the rushing game, well, three touchdowns by Cam Middleton, 1 by Adam Townsend rushing. The offensive line. That's where it's all started.
Yeah. And even with some changing parts in that last drive, they've still dominated.
All right, first down from the 17. West Waterloo will give it to their tailback, and that is Michael Robinson, and he's dropped after a short gain as they start deep in their own territory.
Dowling has kept most of their starting defense in there, and that defensive front is getting some extra playing time, getting some rep, and part of it at this point too is you want to. These games, as we go late into the postseason, you got to be able to play 4 quarters,
right.
And so there's a little bit of training going on here.
Absolutely, and now a pass that's incomplete, thrown to the right side of the formation by Schulte, and it falls harmlessly to the ground, incomplete. So it'll bring up 3rd down for the Warhawks.
Looked like that was Blaine Zakuta as he turning upfield before he actually caught the football on that one.
I think West has changed
8?
quarterback. Yeah, Tyree Gardner, who's listed as the backup, he's also starting free safety, is in at quarterback, 6 foot, 170-pounder. And Zakuta, he's one of the wide receivers. And now it'll be Tyree Gardner, back to throw, has pressure, wants to run, will run, trying to run for the first down, has to get across the 25. He does, penalty flag down, gets the first down at the 28, picks up 11, but penalty flag down.
Russell Pearson, this is one of those that's hard to describe on the radio. He's a right defensive end, and he's on there pursuing the quarterback, trying to get the sack, and he ends up chasing down Gardner from behind to make the tackle at the end of that play. That's a great hustle.
That's called off-season conditioning at its best, and that's what's been a lot of this success. Penalties against Waterloo West, that'll back them up to the 18-yard line, so that'll wipe out the game and the first down. So the Warhawks going backwards as their backup quarterback Tyree Gardner in. He'll send out 3 receivers right, 1 to the left as West goes right to left, south to north here at Drake. Gardner back to throw, rolls to his right. He's going to be hit and drop. Sack back at the 3-yard line. Ball comes loose, and they're going to kill it. They're going to call it dead.
Call him down.
And Gardner goes down. He gets right back up. That's what you want to see. But another sack by the Dowling defensive line, Matt.
Jalen Pettis on that play and just blew through there, and Tyree Gardner had no chance.
Move the ball back to the 3-yard line, a loss of 15, and another big sack by the Dowling defensive line. That'll force a punt by West Waterloo with approaching the 4-minute mark, and quarterback Carter Schulte, who's also the punter, will be standing on his end line.
The last one he got almost went over his head. He almost stepped out the back of the end zone. Now they're going to get a penalty and
too many men on the field.
Yeah, cut the distance in half.
So half of 3 is what, a yard and a half? Where's the math guys? That's a yard and a half. Yeah. So that's where they put the ball, and it's still 4th down.
Still 4th down.
4th and a mile. I want to thank Ashworth Vision, Construction Professionals, and Dental Associates for supporting our broadcast all season long here in Iowa Catholic Radio. Our 44th year of covering Dowling sports. Hard to believe. Coach Williams back in 76 was when they started. Bob Updegraff and that whole group. Here's a snap. Schulte gets it away. Left-footed kick, high short kick. Fair catch signal for by Dowling. And now the ball is muffed and now picked up by Dowling. So Koa Thompson muffed the football, but was picked up and nicely by his teammate, Will Herman. And it'll be Dowling football from the 33-yard line of West Waterloo with 3:33 remaining. Maroons leading 38-12. Looks like the Dowling Valley rematch next week. Valley handily winning at Urbandale tonight, 31-0 at last report. Let's go down to John Chido with a Dowling update from the sideline. And, Johnny, I think the injuries and with Louis Brooks being kicked out, he'll have to sit out next week at least a half. A lot of question marks going in as we kind of transition from this game to next week.
Yeah, you hate to see this as you get further along in the playoffs, and hopefully these guys are healthy enough to continue on, and you know, you want to avoid those injuries and situations that occurred with the penalties and stuff like that. But I just want to mention Jalen Pettis. He was shot out of a cannon on that last play, and just to get after Schulte there, I mean, it was an amazing play. How quick that Jalen was able to get off the ball and showing his athleticism on that defensive line.
You know, you mentioned that, John, and Coach Wilson, I know one of our preseason pregame shows, he said Jalen Pettis is going to be one of those all-staters that Dowling's had many, many times. He's the next one coming because his offensive line can't block him in practice, and we see that here on game night. There's evidence of that, John.
Yeah, he is really grown, maturity-wise, and playing a lot last season with that experience and the success that the team had, and him developing he's further going to get better. He's got another year, and he continues to do that and stay healthy. A lot of good things can happen.
All right, Jake English at quarterback for Dowling, and he gives the handoff to Keegan Beckish, and Beckish is knocked out of bounds inside the 20. And let's see where they actually see him stepping out of bounds, right about the 18, but a nice run by Beckish.
Nice run by Keegan as he came around the corner there and got out in space, and great run by him. Great job for that young man.
Down to the 19-yard line is where they spot him out of bounds. So that's a 14-yard run. First down, Maroons. Jake English, the third quarterback for the Maroons, and a give to Beckish, and he's just looking for a seam, and now he's driven down at the 20-yard line. They'll spot forward progress right around the 20, 21-yard line, so he'll lose 2. Bring up second down and 12.
Nathan Anderson on the stop for West Waterloo in the backfield, and Keegan took one too many sideways steps and trying to decide where he was going to go.
Well, sometimes you put your shoulder pads down and try to follow your offensive line. He was waiting for something, a little sliver to open up, and it didn't, and the West linebacker got him. So it's second and 12 Maroons. 2 minutes, 50 seconds remaining here in the fourth quarter. 38-12 Dowling over West Waterloo. Handoff right side. That's Beckish waiting for his offensive line, and he's still in bounds at the 15. And he'll be spot out of bounds. Our line judge, Tony Nelson, right at the 14-yard line. He goes out.
Gives them a third and about 6-5. It looks like here as they get up here on third down. 3rd and 4 is what they're going to call it.
And here's Jake English. They give to Beckish left side. Just a sweep. He's got a man in front of him, and that is Ben Favor blocking for him. Tries to turn the corner and finally wrestle down at the 10. Gain of 4.
Yeah, be a yard short. He looks like a yard short or a half a yard short of the first down, and they go for it again on 4th here as the clock winds down to towards the 2-minute mark.
4th and 1 Maroons down on the West 10-yard line. Wide receiver to the left will be Reed Beecher, but off to the far side. As Jake English at quarterback, here's a snap. English the handoff to Beckish, puts his head down, got the first down, and lunges forward. They're going to spot forward progress right about the 7-yard line for a gain of 3, and it'll be 1st and goal.
Yeah, Keegan wasn't going to give up his feet, and had about 3 Waterloo defenders trying to take him down, and they didn't. They didn't win that battle, even though it was 10 yards away from where they started. So it's kind of it's fun to see Keegan as he sits there and has a good night here running the football.
Beecher again split out wide to the left and split out wide to the right. Is number 22, and that's Jacob Netfit. And we're going to keep the ball on the ground, but we got a penalty flag, Matt, and this will all come back.
Yeah, and likely at this time, at this spot, it's going to be a hold.
And they'll mark it off 10 yards. The spot foul, they'll mark it off from the 10.
Well, it was only 5. It must have been illegal.
Illegal motion.
Yeah, illegal
Nobody
motion.
was set. That's what it was. So it's back to the 12-yard line on the illegal motions. The Maroons now with a minute 35, the game clock running. Quarterback is Dante Cataldo. How about that? The freshman who's been the JV quarterback all year. Here's a snap. Dante, the handoff to Beckish. Up the gut he goes, left side, and gets inside the 10 down to the 8-yard line. That woke somebody up on the south side, I know, maybe a few people. His grandfather's listening.
There you go.
He's having one of those drinks I'm going to have after the game, Matt. Maybe.
Lemonade? Are you going to have a lemonade after the game for that voice?
Something like that.
Something like that.
I tried to find the candy my daughter went out and corralled in Urbandale tonight on trick-or-treat beggars night.
Yeah.
Now, that ended about an hour and a half ago, but I know there's still people out there knocking on doors.
I saw
3812 Dowling.
Our neighbor did an interesting thing. They put candy bars on sticks and then had that all over their yard. So, it's a COVID-safe trick-or-treat. So the whole yard was filled with candy bars on sticks. Well, that's a great idea.
I love it. I love it. All right, well, we're going backwards here. The Maroons now guilty of a penalty and holding on Dowling, and they're going to move it.
As they're trying to figure out where to spot the football here, I just want to wish Father Akery, he had a little minor stay at the hospital and got some things repaired and heard he's recovering well. So our thoughts and prayers are with him. As Father Akery he is someone that these kids look to quite a bit for reconciliation and faith guidance and everything else. He does an amazing job.
What a top, what a man he is. I'll tell you what, he led a lot of different clubs at Dowling when I was there back in the 70s and early 80s, and now they're going to
march back again here.
All right, it'll bring up second down and 17. They're going to call it. They move the line of scrimmage back to the 22. It was a 10-yard holding penalty. Cataldo at quarterback. Dante with the snap. He'll run it right side. Beckish the lead block, and Dante driven down at the 18-yard line, a gain of 4. With a minute remaining, the Maroons will have to run another play, and it'll bring up third and about 18.
One more play, and then it's Valley Dowling week.
Yes, again. The second time. Maroons won the first meeting. Shut them out 22-0 back on week 3. Unfortunately for Dowling, they lost the next week to Johnston. As Mikey McLean in, number 9. He's a wide receiver to the left. Jake English back in at quarterback. Here's a snap, handoff Beckish. Right up the gut he goes, trying to follow his center, and he's wrestled down, and that'll do it at the 20. The Dowling does not have to run another play, and the Maroons are going to win it 38-12. And I'll tell you what, a lot of kids got to play, but I'll tell you what, West Waterloo, they lost 3 of the last 4 games. They had a big win a week ago over Fort Dodge in Waterloo, and I'll tell you what.
They showed some fight tonight. I was impressed. I mean, you can tell they're well coached and they're moving in the right. Talking about programs moving in the right direction. They've got some great young men there, and that program is moving in the right direction.
Lonnie Moore, the head coach at West Waterloo, very fine team. He had some of those kids shaken up, going both ways, and the teams do the wave across the field. And Dowling a winner, 38-12, the final, as Dowling Catholic will advance to next week's game, and we'll get a final from Urbandale as Valley was defeating Urbandale 31-0 in the last
41-0 is what it ended up at.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
So we'll get you caught up with all those scores. We'll start our score tracker here. Final score here, Dowling 38, West Waterloo 12, along with Matt Maindring. I'm Mark Amadale. John Chido will have post-game interviews with head coach Tom Wilson, and we'll give you the complete statistics. Jared Seifert will come on down from, the third floor to come down here to hand off the statistics. We'll come up with that. Coming up here on Iowa Catholic Radio as we move to the postgame show. Again, the final, Dowling 38, West Waterloo 12 from Drake Stadium. You've been listening to the Class 4A football playoffs here on Iowa Catholic Radio and streaming audio tonight through CISN.TV.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio and Dowling Catholic Sports is provided in part by Ashworth Vision Clinic. With 2 licensed optometrists, Barbara Sheets, a Dowling graduate, and Dr. Craig Harper, the Ashworth Vision Clinic team provides complete eye exams, contact lenses, glasses, glaucoma testing, and pre- and post-operative care. Ashworth Vision Clinic is located at 60th and Ashworth in West Des Moines. 515-440-4610 or online, ashworthvision.com.
Thank you, construction professionals, for underwriting our show, Man Up, heard Mondays at 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. Construction professionals have been long supporters of Iowa Catholic Radio, and we've seen their work. It's beautiful.
They do remodeling or new construction that is innovative, functional, and designing what you want. It's a family business built on a strong foundation to create a new or remodeled home that is uniquely yours.
CPCustomHomes.com. From our family to yours, God bless. Thank you, construction professionals.
Yeah, we're back here at Drake Stadium. Mark Amadale, Matt Maindring, and John Chido. Final score, Dowling 38, West Waterloo 12. We're trying to run down some scores that we have. Valley, a 41 to nothing lead, or final over Urbandale. So it'll be Dowling and Valley from Drake Stadium next Friday night. Other games has Waukee leading Indianola 40 to 28. And last report, it was Ankeny leading Cedar Falls 31-16. That game was tied at 16 at one point before Ankeny ran off some scores. And the other one is Southeast Polk leading Ankeny Centennial. I'm not sure if it's the final yet. 40-7, Southeast Polk ahead of Ankeny Centennial. So there's just some of the games that we have and some of the scores we have. I know, Matt, you're kind of perusing. You may have to go to Twitter and get rid of that app.
I know. I'm on Twitter now.
All right, let's take a look at the statistics before we catch up with John Chido and head coach Tom Wilson, who is visiting with his team. Post-game prayer right there at the 50-yard line. Dowling with 431 yards of total offense. Waterloo West 142. Dowling with 84 yards in the air and 347 yards in the ground. Waterloo West with 101 yards in the air and 41 yards in the ground. The Maroons were penalized 12 times for 82 yards. They had 8 penalties at halftime, 4 in the second half. Waterloo West, 7 penalties for 60 yards. They had 6 penalties in the second half. And first downs, Dowling with 27. Waterloo West with 12. Jake Steingraber was 4 out of 7 passing, 45 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Jackson Smolik, 3 out of 6 passing, 39 yards tonight for Waterloo West. Carter Schulte, 9 out of 19 passing, 2 touchdowns and an interception. And their backup quarterback, Tyree Gardner, 1 for 1, negative 15 yards receiving. Leading rusher for Dowling, get this, Cam Middleton, 21 carries, 173 yards, and 3 touchdowns to lead the Dowling rushing game. That was all set up by the offensive line tonight. Adam Townsend, 12 carries, 92 yards, and a touchdown. Zach Swagert, 11 carries, 38 yards, and Keegan Beckish, 6 carries for 26 yards. For West Waterloo, their leading ball carrier was Michael Robinson, 9 carries, 30 yards. Quarterback Schulte, 8 carries for 10. And the other tailback, number 22, Jay Shaw, 6 carries for 9 yards. The leading receiver for Dowling was Louis Brooks, 4 catches, 50 yards and a touchdown before he was ejected in the first half. Zach Swagger, 1 catch for 12 yards. Andrew Lynch, 1 catch for 12 yards. And Koa Thompson, 1 catch for 10. For West Waterloo, their leading receiver was Tay Norman, 5 catches, 70 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Jeremiah Finn, 1 catch for 21 yards. And Orlando Vivians, 1 catch for 18 yards on the night. Again, Dowling with the win, 38-12 over West Waterloo. Maroons with 431 yards of total offense, 142 for West Waterloo. Jarek Seifert, thanks for all you do. And let's go down to the Dowling sideline. I know they're sitting there, they're watching this. Yeah, John, I'm coming to you. He has head coach Tom Wilson following Dowling's win. Take it away, Johnny.
Coach, congratulations on another playoff win. Moving on next week. Great second half, and that offensive line really dominated the line of scrimmage, and Cam Middleton had a really good night along with Adam Townsend, and very successful up front.
Yeah, it was they did really well. I mean, we hurt ourselves at times, and with penalties on really both sides of the ball, and that kind of stuff needs to get cleaned up. But I really thought offensive line-wise, we were dominant. We felt that was an area of which we had an advantage, but it was good to come out of here with a win, and obviously move on to the next round.
And the defensive line for you guys really kept Schulte in that pocket and didn't allow him to step up and he's elusive and a very good player and really shut down that deep pass there in the second half.
He is a good player, and 3, their wide receiver, I think, is very good. They've got some talented kids, and D-line wise, they've been dominant most of the year. I think here in the second half, that's why I punted when I did, and I thought let them try and drive the field because against our defense, that's difficult to do.
Well, Coach, congratulations once again, and best of luck next week.
Thank you.
That's John Chido with head coach Tom Wilson following Dowling's win over West Waterloo 38-12 as the Maroons now improve their record to 7-1 as the Maroons have now won 5 in a row since their 3-point loss to Johnston, which followed the Valley game, as you remember, Matt. Yep. The Maroons now improved to 7-1 and ranked number 2 by Radio Iowa. West Waterloo closes out their season with a record of 4-5, and They dropped 3 of their last 4 games coming into the contest, and the big win last week for West Waterloo, their win over Fort Dodge at home, and gave Dowling quite a test there. It was,
yeah, they
remember
did.
At one point it was 7-6, when that missed extra point, that blocked extra point by Pettis, he deflected it, and the ball fell short, and it seemed like Dowling just kind of retook the game after that.
Yeah, they did, and you know, the line took over, and it's just that's where things start to happen. I have been able to get a couple scores here. Ankeny did end up winning, finished off Cedar Falls 30-16, and then the final at Southeast Polk was Southeast Polk 41-7. So we're starting to fill in the blank spots here, and I think Waukee ended up ending up ahead of Indianola here as well.
Last report I had in that game was 40-28 Waukee over Indianola. That game was tied early.
Yeah, 50-28 right now. I'm late in the fourth.
So we'll try to. My goodness, they put up 50 on Indianola.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
It's as wide open this postseason as it's been in a while. There's going to be some great football games next week, and fun to see. And the Maroons are going to be, you know, they're playing as well as they have. Out here, a couple errors early, just mental errors with the penalties and things like that early in the football game. Let Waterloo West Waterloo stay close, and then they just took over.
All right, the final once again, Dowling defeats West Waterloo here at Drake Stadium. 38-12 was the final. The Maroons with the win, and they'll face the Valley Tigers, who was that a final 41-0 Valley over.
Yeah, I think it's John's cold.
It's warmer than last week, but they still had no fire pits down there.
No.
You all right? I mean, you only had to walk up. We're not in the 3rd floor anymore. You don't have to take the elevator.
Yeah, it's a lot of standing.
Yeah, I think you just lost your mic there. Go ahead now. Say it to our. You did what?
I was going to say my back with the cold weather. It got really cold there in the second half. And you know, the good news was there was no wind. So.
Yeah, very little. But well, we'll come back and kind of wrap things up. Great job on the sideline with head coach Tom Wilson. Again, the final, Dowling 38, West Waterloo 12 from Drake Stadium. And we'll go to our final segment of the postgame show as the Maroons move on and play in a rematch next Friday night against the Valley Tigers. We'll have it on Iowa Catholic Radio next Friday right here from Drake Stadium as we return for our final segment here on Iowa Catholic Radio and streaming audio tonight on CISN.TV.
Support for Iowa Catholic